Live from Tigers Stadium in Booty, it's once again time for high school football on Crescent City Sports. As tonight, we've got a Class 5A non-district matchup as the Mandeville Skippers have made their way across the lake and into the river parishes to take on the Hahnville Tigers. Hi again, everybody. Lenny Van Gilder, along with the coach, Wade Kaiser. Zach Fisher, our producer this evening. Matt Beal on camera. Glad to have you with us on week 2 of the high school football season. And Wade, we've got two teams, 0-1, didn't get off to the kind of starts they wanted to last Friday night. You have been 1-0. You've been 0-1. What are the practices like, and what is the intensity like the week after a season opening loss?
Well, the first thing is you have Labor Day on that Monday, so you labor on Labor Day, and most teams labor early in the morning, which both of these coaches did. So immediately the intensity is turned up on both sides of the field, right? Your offense, your defense, your special teams, all three phases, they get turned up a notch, especially on that morning. It becomes a little bit harder, a little bit more, should we say, focused. Meetings become a little bit more intense. So the key word would be intensity and what happens to the dial of that oven, and it gets turned up. Yes, I've been there. I know how it feels, and you've got to make some changes. You've got to, you've spent all weekend grading film. You've spent all weekend correcting mistakes. And then on that Monday morning, you've got to start putting it all back together to get ready for your week 2 opponent.
Now, as you looked at these teams, Mandeville losing to Denham Springs and Hahnville losing to Newman, common thread here were mistakes, and that's obviously the kind of thing you as a coach, in a perfect situation, you want to be able to win and have mistakes you can correct. Well, they've got mistakes to correct and obviously did not win the game. As we are pausing, we'll get back to that. The colors making their way to the center of the field, and coming up from Booty, our national anthem. Our national anthem from the river parishes on a Friday night. There's not many better places to be to watch high school football in Louisiana than down in the river parishes. We were in Laplace last Friday, in Booty tonight as we get ready for this one. But to finish the thought before we broke away for the anthem and the prayer, Wade, is
right.
A lot of mistakes on both sides, turnovers, special teams. I can imagine both of these head coaches, Craig Jones, the first-year head coach at Mandeville, Daniel Luquette, the third-year head coach at Hahnville, turned on that LSU game Sunday night, and we're having flashbacks to 48 hours earlier.
Well, you see it at every level in that week one, right? You see it at the high school level. We saw it, especially Saturday night with the Florida State LSU game, as well as if you tuned in on any other games. You had issues on special teams. You had issues with penalties. You had issues with turnovers that were the difference in a few games. And you're going to see it tomorrow. Or should I say Sunday in 2 days. All right, so week one has a lot of things that – I don't know if you call it jitters. I don't know if you call it just playing time, if you call it not getting enough reps in before the season. Whatever you want to call it, you're going to have mistakes. So all of that with the high school game, this being week two, was hopefully worked out over the weekend into their day one preparation on Labor Day, getting ready for week two. They've got to iron out the mistakes. Interceptions absolutely killed Hahnville last week, giving up two of them. So,
one of them
right,
a pick six.
One of them pick six.
Will Randall took that screen pass,
right,
stepped in front of it, and went untouched on the opening possession of the game.
So when you're talking about just turnovers, and then you're talking about turnovers that are giving up touchdowns, it's a bad combination, bad mix.
No doubt about it. The Hahnville offense spent a lot of time on the field in the first half because of those mistakes, and they kept going right back out there.
Right.
Captains meeting at the center of the field. Boy, we've got a good look tonight with this. This is a classic uniform matchup. Mandeville in the all-white headgear. Mandeville has won the toss. They're going to take the football, so they're going to be going left to right to start this game, and Hahnville is going to be kicking off. You got Hahnville in the purple headgear, the purple jerseys with those UCLA stripes down the sleeves that, of course, everybody knows around here for LSU wearing, and the white pants. So it's a terrific look, and I like good-looking uniforms. We got two good-looking ones this evening. Artificial turf. You don't have to worry about them getting dirtied up. And look, we got a little football weather in the air tonight.
Well, the great thing about
76 degrees at kickoff, slight wind out of the north, down on the field pregame. I mean, it felt comfortable down there.
Absolutely. But the great thing back to the uniforms is you can read the numbers.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
That is always a plus.
You don't have
gray on
gray, or you don't have any kind of
silver on gray,
or
that.
whatever it is.
We've been there, done that.
Yes, we have. All right, we get set for football.
Interesting thing, I saw what you just pointed out to me earlier in the game. We have a 5-man officiating crew for a 5A football game.
Yeah, you can use 5, 6, or 7. And look,
correct.
Some of that is just, it can be numbers sometimes, what they can actually
get on the field,
put out there. So we're ready to go a couple of minutes beforehand. The two teams are on the field. The pregame clock is still counting down for about 2 minutes or whatever, and I don't know if they're going to wait for this or we're going to be ready for play. Let's see.
These guys don't want to wait. They're ready to roll. They got to get that taste out of their mouth. That's the other thing you want to do is you practice all week just to get that taste out of your mouth.
Wait. I think what happened here is, okay, that was the discussion with Daniel Luquette. They lined him up the wrong way. I don't know if, it's one of those correctable errors. I don't know if the Hahnville captain said the wrong thing or if they just lined him up incorrectly, but Hahnville's going to kick left to right with Dylan Patterson, and it's going to be Mandeville going right to left here in the first quarter.
Well, look, I've had teams run out there and line up on the wrong side, too.
No doubt. But I'm pretty sure they lined up that way. But it's Donovan McGowan, Brendan Scardino, who are deep. Now we've got 12 minutes on the clock, which means we are indeed set for football. They've reset it. Well, let's get week 2 underway here as Patterson will put it on the tee. And away we go on this Friday night. It's a little pooch kick, almost like an onside kick. Fair catch is called. Nice job there. That was Ashton Dale, whose name we'll call a bunch tonight, one of the wide receivers who was one of the up men, handled that at the 44-yard line. So that's where Mandeville is going to begin on offense. And they will do so with the senior Cooper DeRoche at quarterback, 5'10", 195 pounds.
You're going to see a lot of open sets. You're going to see a lot of spread formations, trips, spread, things of that nature, with a lot of no-huddle offense getting the call in from the boundary from the skippers.
Yep, trips to the top of your screen, and the running back, Nate Shepard, is the sidecar. They'll fake it to Shepard, throw it that way. That is Donovan McGowan, who brings it in for a gain of about 9 on the opening play of the game. So good position for Mandeville. 2nd and 1. The ball now at the Hahnville 47-yard line.
Great little starter, getting it out there as fast as they can, as quick as they can to McGowan.
Quarterback's going to keep it this time. DeRoche off the left side and out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. It'll be a first down.
Look, DeRoche is a load, 5'10", 195-pound senior. He kind of runs like a fullback right there. He'll duck his shoulder, and he'll take the hit to you. He's just not going to run out of bounds. He ducked his shoulder right there and got knocked out of bounds, and I don't know if he gave the DB got the worst of the shot there.
He's not afraid to run. He ran it double-digit times last week in the loss to Denham Springs. But he only had, I believe it was 2 yards rushing because, of course, remember in high school and college, sacks count as rushing yards for the quarterback. On first down, DeRoche, pass is caught. That is Dale on the catch out to around the 33-yard line. Dale last week, 3 catches for 63 yards.
Little double out clear right there. The number 2 receiver, number 3 receiver, both run outs, working on the underneath intermediate coverage. The linebacker and the strong safety, they break their routes off according to the zone coverage. The ball's delivered on time. Nice delivery there for 2nd down.
2nd down 3. First touch of the night for Shepard, and he's got the first down to about the 26-yard line. So a good-looking opening drive for the Skippers.
A lot of tempo by the Skippers, and it's a nice night for it. You don't have as much humidity.
Pass is caught. And that was Dale once again. That's right at the first down sticks. They'll give it to him.
Well, Dale runs really nice slant route. Works off the slot. Some people in their nickel coverage call it the slot corner, strong safety, whatever you want to call the guy. The defender, he just worked his stem, which is the beginning part of the route, and breaks it off of him, and the ball's delivered on time on a slant route. Great pitch and catch. Look at the cushion Dale has right now.
In the red zone on this opening possession, play action, DeRoche down the seam, and that pass, I believe it's intercepted, and it is.
It is intercepted.
Sam Semino stepped in front of that one, the safety, and a nice play after a nice drive by Mandeville to go 40 yards, get down in the red zone, and an interception in the end zone snuffs it out.
Well, Dale had the angle, had the room, had the clearance. Ball wasn't delivered on time, Lenny. It should have been thrown a little bit sooner, a little bit quicker. Had that ball been thrown a little bit quicker, it wouldn't have been able to give the defender the chance, Simmons, to step underneath that pass and intercept the ball.
So Hahnville will take over at the 20. Toss sweep on first down and trying to get to the perimeter, but well defended. Josh Joseph will pick up about 3.
You're going to see more of a 3-man front out of Mandeville, and a lot of people don't see the 3-man front. You'll see a 4-man front mostly, but you're going to see them line up in a 3-man front as a base, and they'll bring a linebacker called their drop linebacker down to the line of scrimmage to give it a 4-man look. And there's your look right there with the stand-up linebacker on the edge. He's your drop-down linebacker blitz.
Ryan Gregson, the junior quarterback, hands it this time to his other running back, Calvin Smith. They call him CJ, the sophomore. Had 82 yards and a touchdown a week ago. Joseph had 67 on the ground.
Defensively on the play there, Wyatt Hammond from his linebacker position comes up and makes a nice play, the will linebacker.
3rd and 5. Line to make is the 30. Gregson, quick toss, far side, pass is caught out near the first down marker. Don't know if Titus White got to the sticks. This is awfully close, Wade. This is all about the spot, and they spotted it short.
Well, decision time right now.
What do you do on 4th and 1 at the 29. It looks like you send your
punt team out.
Your punting unit on?
That's what it looks like they're doing, is it? Are they bringing out
or
heavy?
Are we getting a jumbo
offense.
look here? Let's see.
Looks like a jumbo look.
We'll see some Wildcat and some other things out of Hahnville. They lost their starting quarterback, Donovan Freelou, in the Jamboree.
And here's your look at your
here's your big look. This is and whistles before this can get underway. Timeout Hahnville. I think the play clock was about to run out.
Well, they were slow getting their personnel on the field, first of all.
And now it looks like the punting unit is coming on. It was about 2 feet to go for a first down. And
I think
Daniel Luquette, the Hahnville coach, said they call that their beast look. And you'll see it a little bit with everybody in tight. Actually, there wasn't even a receiver there. That might have been an extra beast in there. I don't know. Normally the beast has 3 men in tight along with one wide receiver.
Well, they had some beast in there for sure. Okay, but they look a little indecisive. I think that's the reason why the timeout was called. I don't know if they had the right beast on the field, should we say. And Daniel Luquette thinks, and they're missing a guy right now on their punt team. Here he
comes now.
So, I think he rethought that real quick, decided to call a timeout and get his punt team on the field. But it's all about personnel changes, and they didn't have the personnel change in time.
Punt is away, and fair catch called at about the 40-yard line by Scardino.
Well, Mandeville really had a nice drive to start this game off. They get down there and throw the interception. Let's see if they can replicate it. Hahnville lining up in a 4-2-5 look. A lot of zone coverage across the top on the back end of their defense. 2 high secondary, 2 inside linebackers, 2 outside strong safeties, if you call them, nickel corners maybe, and then a 4-down defensive front.
So Mandeville takes over at the 39-yard line. Taking a shot on first down, and a man open, and it's caught. Inside the 20, down inside the 15-yard line. A terrific pass from DeRoche. And that was Dale on the catch, or check that. It was 11. That's Scardino.
Scardino just ran past the corner. There was no help from the safety. He had a 2-high secondary. He should have came over and given some help on the number 1 going vertical. He never got there. The corner was left undone, waiting for some help. Scardino runs past the corner. Ball's delivered perfectly with air under it, and Mandeville's knocking at the door.
Gain of 46. And once again in a red zone. This time they'll give it away. Shepard, trying to get the left side, didn't have a place to go.
Shepard makes a north and south cut as he clears that offensive line of scrimmage. He goes to the end zone. He just kept stringing it out to the boundary. Can't go east and west on a north and south field. Sooner or later, you got to put your foot in the ground and get vertical.
2nd down and 9. On the run, DeRoche cannot escape the pass rush of Hahnville, and that is Sincere Simmons, the senior defensive end, runs him down for the sack, and a big loss on the play of 14.
6'3", 240 coming off that edge. You can see it on the replay coming from the left of your screen right there. None touched right there. Just chases him down. Didn't have a chance to set his feet. DeRoche, that's what we're talking about. Gets sacked for the loss. Simmons has got some speed for his size.
So now it's 3rd down and a bunch. 23 to go. The line to make is the 5. Pass out this way. Is that a lateral? It may have been. I'm not sure they blew it dead. They're going to go mark this down. Let's see. No, incomplete. No signal right away whether it was incomplete.
Look, it doesn't matter. Ball's thrown lateral. You don't know whether it's lateral behind the line of scrimmage. If I'm in a purple jersey right there, I'm busting tail to go scoop that thing and score. The only thing that's going to stop me is a whistle or a coach. I mean, you're out there with a measuring stick to see if the ball's lateral? Here, let's take a look at it again. You really can't tell, but right there, if I'm in a purple jersey, I'm scooping that thing as fast as I can, waiting for a whistle to stop me. On
4th and 23, the pass is going to be incomplete. almost like a Hail Mary situation right there. It was really obviously too short to punt, too far for a field goal. Take a shot at the end zone and see what happens, Wade. And they come up empty, and Hahnville stiffens up in the red zone again and gets the stop on downs.
Well, Hahnville got away with one right there. A little jersey pull out there by, looks like Jamiah Singleton, the defensive back at corner, number 22, was beat again. Had a little grab of the jersey right there at the end, but it was kind of blocked off from the official down the boundary. Didn't get to see it, and brings up first down for Hahnville.
At the 28. Fake it one way, now back the other way, and room to run. And that was Josh Joseph on the carry out to about the 43-yard line, a gain of 15.
Well, Josh Joseph reverses his field, nothing to his left.
Yeah.
You'll see him plant a foot in the ground and come back this way and pick up a couple blockers.
Yeah, and that is that beast look we talked about.
Right.
And had nowhere to go one way and then turned around and went the other way with it.
Big, good-looking athlete right there.
We've hit the hydration break here at the 6-minute mark. Gives us a chance to remind you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Lincoln is the only Lincoln Black Label dealership in the market. It's more than ownership, it's membership. Must be a reason. Thanks, as always, to Ronnie Lamarck and Ronnie Jr. and the entire team. At the big store, Williams Boulevard. And it's gotten bigger over there.
I think I said this last week. I think it takes up half a Kenner.
It's a campus. It really is.
It's a campus.
Dormitories. You got the Ford dealership, the Lincoln dealership, exactly. The Quick Lane.
Used car.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
It's fabulous. Yeah, first class out there. Mandeville showing blitz in both A gaps. Let's see if they stay with it.
At the 43. They'll pull one off, send one. Pass is incomplete, flag from behind. They had C.J. Smith, one of the running backs, lined up wide and just sent him on a go route, and a little bit of a tug there.
He was matched up on number 9, Tasman Showers right there, 5'11", 195-pound junior, and kind of grabbed the little jersey and got hooked up, and then he standing out there. You know, of course, he was going to do his best lawyer impression, hands up, trying to plead the call. But, yeah, 2 flags right on the spot, and it was a pretty good call. That's going to be marked off from the previous spot, and it's going to give them first down. It's not automatic, but when they move the chains with the marking of the ball, it will be a first down.
Yeah, it was 1st and 10. It still is 1st and 10 now. Hahnville for the first time tonight in Mandeville territory at the 42-yard line. Gregson once again at quarterback. Get back on either side. And this time it will go to Chase Brooks, the junior, and not much doing there. He lost about 3.
Knox Calora wasn't fooled at all. He's in the backfield with penetration right there. They run the counter play. He's sitting right in the backfield. Nobody accounted for him, and he brings down the running back for a big loss.
The line to make here is the 32. 2nd down and 13. Gregson felt the pressure, took off, got run to run. He split 2 defenders. Now inside the 30, he'll slide down at the 26, maybe the 27. Again, it's where you give yourself up. not where you go down. And the minute you give yourself up, that's where they're going to mark the play dead at the 27-yard line. A terrific run for a gain of 18.
Yeah, it's nice protection. It's just coverage is nice downfield. Look at him get out of there. Gregson with some wheels right there. Smart guy. He's going to go down like he's going into second base, and now we're playing first down Hahnville.
At the Mandeville 27-yard line. And now it's Titus White lining up at quarterback, and there's 5 wide receivers out there, and this is a design run all the way. White will get 5, maybe 6. So I believe we've already seen 4 different players line up behind center.
Mandeville gives him that man under, man free look. Great call when you're giving quarterback draw right there, and that's exactly what happened. You got quarterback draw, and everything else just kind of shapes up right there, so it's going to give them a real manageable 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 here. Spread again
and it's the same quarterback, Titus White. This time he will fake the jet sweep, take it up the gut, out to about the 14, maybe the 13-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 Mandeville. They're now in the red zone.
Spreading everything out, getting in the box nice and loose. You only got 1 free safety in the middle of the field. Everybody's manned up on the spread receivers. It's
that's the thing. You've got to cover these guys.
Correct.
You get them out. You get the guys out of the box. It becomes something different to defend out there.
So what you have is a hat on a hat. You got 10 personnel and nice running lanes for the quarterback.
Then you throw the fake in there. Now it's once again Ryan Gregson at quarterback. Give it away on first down. Nice job of making the man miss by Josh Joseph. Could have been hit in the backfield and managed to get a yard out of that.
Managed to get a tough yard out of that. Knox Calora comes up from his linebacker position and makes a nice hit right there on the little inside zone.
Second time we've called his name already here in the first quarter.
Those linebackers are real active from Mandeville. They're playing downhill, and they'll also play side to side. They can run with pretty good speed. They've got a nice little scheme going out there with their 3-4 defense. But Hahnville seems to have an answer, spreading them out and running at them.
On second down, nice run off the left side by Josh Joseph to about the 7-yard line. Give him a gain of 6 on the play.
Josh
and
Joseph,
it's 3rd and 7 right now. And let's talk about this, Wade. 3rd and 3. The ball is the 3rd and 3 at the 7. 4-down territory right here. Are you thinking, look, we're in this position. You got to find a way to get a touchdown right here?
I think you got to come away with any points you can possibly get, whether it's 3 or 6. You're going to run your best play right here. Get it into your the best athlete's hands.
On 3rd down, run it off the right side this time. That is Brooks to the 5, and now it's 4th and 1, and it's decision time for Daniel Luquette and company.
You come away with points. You're coming off of a loss from last week. You come away with points. You kick that thing. You think players on that 3rd down, not plays.
And here comes that super jumbo look right here where you're going to line up 2 defensive linemen in the backfield, Mitchell and Robertson. And they're going to try to run it off the right side and getting the first down. A nice run that time by Calvin C.J. Smith out to about the 2-yard line.
And yes, he did get the first down, so here we go. Ball's inside the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Tigers. Here's a good look at that jumbo look. Kick out, seal, ram it up in there, push the pile. Again with the jumbo look.
10th play of this drive. Everything has been on the ground. Got the help from the 1 penalty, and they're back in it again. This time they do a little shifting. Going to go up the gut and falling forward and being marked just short of the goal line is Smith.
Well, it's where his knee came down, and it looks like his knee came down before the ball broke the plane. It's going to be just inside the 1.
As we tick into the final minute of this first quarter. Sticking with the same look here. This time, the 3 big guys Line up to the right. Smith on the carry. He is in for the touchdown.
Boy, I tell you, Smith was initially stopped just before the goal line. Second effort pushes him in, and Tigers get on the board and are up 6-0. I mean, they make no bones about where they're going, right? They're going right behind the big guys, right?
We've got big guys and we've got more numbers. Now do something about it. 11 plays on the drive, 72 yards, 5 minutes and 43 seconds.
Well, you're going to have to penetrate that. They're going to have to come up with a little answer.
Patterson's point after is good, and your new score, it is Hahnville 7 and Mandeville nothing. And talk about philosophy here. I mean, basically, they are taking the approach of, we're going to run it at you. Now, you do something about it.
Well, we've had a couple of fourth downs, right? A couple of decisions now in the first quarter to make, right?
They didn't make.
So
I think changed their mind on the one and decided to punt.
Right, but he was going for it if he didn't have his personnel right, and he goes for it down here inside the 10-yard line. So, okay, he said, hey, guys, all right, we're going to set the tempo. We're going to be the guys that are going to make this thing, get ourselves right from last week's loss, all right? We're going to prove what type of football team we are. We're going to make a statement. So, the statement's been made by Daniel Luquette. He's not going to kick the football. He's going to line up and go for it, and he's going to use that jumbo package to be able to try to achieve it when it's short yardage. We're going to knock you in the teeth. We're going to play physical football. That's the type of football we want to play here at Hahnville.
Deeper kick this time. It will be taken in at about the 15-yard line, and two players collide on that, and he's down. That was Alan Emile, a safety who was going back, or was that 9? Check that. It's 9 and not 5, I believe.
Right, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. That's
correct.
Showers, yeah.
Showers.
Yeah.
All right, so you ever hear of the me, you call?
Yep.
There you go. So the guy coming up has the call. He should be coming up yelling me. So the underneath guy should be backing off yelling you. Correct? And they stay away from that collision between the right fielder and the center fielder.
Nice run on first down, out past the sticks, and a gain of about 15 yards that time for Nate Shepard. He kept running, but he was blown dead back at the 29-yard line.
Well, he didn't think he was blown dead. He maybe didn't hear the whistle. He might have rolled off of somebody on the ground right there, but that's a nice north-south cut for an inside zone. Take a look at it coming into your camera right there, and there's the inside zone cut back. He gets his shoulder pads north and south for a very nice run. I think he thinks he fell down on top of the tackler, never actually touched the ground, but in Federation, the tackler is an extension of the ground too.
Got to make it easier for these guys to be able to make the call. Shepard, that could have easily been a loss of 2 or 3, and he spun his way to turn that into no gain on the final play of the first quarter. So we've got 12 minutes in the books here in Hahnville. The Tigers drove 72 yards for the only score of the game. After one, it's Hahnville 7 and Mandeville nothing. You are watching high school football from Crescent City Sports. Second quarter set to get underway here in Booty on a nice Friday night for football. Week number 2 of the high school football season. Lonnie Van Gilder, Wade Kaiser with you. Pass is caught and a first down, and once again we call the name of Ashton Dale. We've done that a couple of times already this evening.
Well, he's gonna make a living doing that all night unless Hahnville does something and they walk out on the number 2 receiver out here and take away some of that cushion, because it's RPO. Quarterback looks up right there. DeRoches looks up and sees nobody's covering the number 2 receiver. He steps back, throws him the ball, and he's off to the races. There it is again. Look at the cushion with number 2 receiver.
Pass, top of your screen this time. Caught, nice move, making a man miss it down the sidelines. There's a flag coming in on the back end of the play, and a nice catch and run. That was Donovan McGowan, the junior, who didn't have a catch last week. He's already got 2 tonight, but let's see what happens here with this laundry that's down back at the 39-yard line.
Again, DeRoches just steps up, and this time throws it to the number 3 receiver in the trips. They're playing 3-on-2 out there. In my book, 3-on-2 wins every time. Something's got to happen. They're going to have to move somebody inside of the box out, and then that will give Mandeville the decision whether or not they want to run their inside zone game.
Our officiating crew from the Greater New Orleans Association this evening, they are deliberating exactly what we've got here, what the assessment is going to be. All right. Pick up the flag. We still haven't started walking it off yet here. Let's see what's going to happen. Get this every once in a while, right? And it's the skippers moving back. Personal foul against Mandeville.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what that was, unless it was like a blindside block type of thing. That's about the only thing that I can see.
I really didn't see the...
Right. It takes it all the way back to the Mandeville 45 and wipes out a huge gain on the play. So it is
There it is right there. Okay. I'll explain in a second after this play.
So it's first down and 7. Check it. It's going to be a gain of 18 and then a 15-yard penalty. So it's 1st and 7 at the 45. DeRoche is going to keep it and go for 10 and the first down.
All right, real quickly, let me explain what happened on that long play that was brought back. Rule came out in college, high school, about 2 years ago. You cannot block back towards your goal line. That's exactly what happened. Receiver came back and leveled a Tiger. I didn't get the number, and he was blocking back towards his own goal line, so that was the block back or the crack back.
At the 44 of Hahnville, DeRoche with 2 receivers to either side. Shepard alongside him. Going to take a shot down the far sideline. Pass is incomplete. He threw into double coverage, as that was a nice job defensively. And that was, I believe, Dakota Williams, who's a wide receiver, overplaying some defense this evening and stepped in front of that and knocked it down.
Well, they were in man free. Dakota Williams was lining up in the center of the field, and he got the free safety help across the top of the vertical. Yes, he came from a long way to get over there to make a very nice play. Listed as a wide receiver, but Dakota Williams is an athlete, right? So he can run the ball. He's a guy in a Wildcat. He can catch the ball as a receiver, and he can also prove he can play some free safety with range.
2nd down 10. Perhaps a little RPO there, and DeRoche will keep it up the middle for a gain of about 6. 3rd and manageable now, Wade. It's 3rd and 4, spotted at the 38-yard line.
Well, you got a lot of options at 3rd and 4, right? You got to think, again, get it into the hands of your best athlete. Also, get it where the numbers are going to best fit your spread offense. So if you look at it right now, look at the numbers down here at the bottom. You've got 2.5 playing out here. The numbers are down here at the bottom right now.
And they'll go that way instead with the run, and that is Shepard's second effort, gets it, at about just past the 35-yard line. This is going to be 4th Wow, a great spot, and they're going to call it a first down. I thought that was a good half a yard short, and a generous spot there will make this a first down.
Craig Jones was thinking 4-down territory. He puts the ball on the ground right there. Shepard makes a great second effort. And you're right, Lenny, they do get a great spot right there. Look at him keeping his feet churning, and he falls forward for the first down.
At the 34, fake it. Now DeRoche on the carry, out past the 30, out near the 25-yard line, a gain of 8. And DeRoche is doing a nice job using the running game thus far, especially on this drive.
Well, I mean, let's face it, today, what are you seeing out of quarterbacks? They can run, they can throw, right? They're athletically talented. You're seeing it at all levels.
Yep, we saw Josh Allen Thursday night.
Oh, wow.
He was
right.
You know, he's not afraid to get up in there and get hit. You have to, there's some guys in the front office in Buffalo that have to be cringing every time he does that, though. DeRoche down the far sideline, incomplete, as that was intended, like for Michael White that time. First time we've called his name, the sophomore wide receiver.
And I tell you what, defending that time was number 15, Ryan Simmons. And he was nicely in phase with the receiver running the vertical route down the sideline. You can see him hip for hip right there. The ball had to be perfect, and it just wasn't because the coverage was nice and tight.
And that was one-on-one out there that time. Sometimes we've seen him throw into double coverage.
Right, where you get man free here, and you can see the blitz coming. There it goes.
And they'll keep it on the ground, and a nice run with room to run, a touchdown. 26 yards for Nate Shepard, who found a seam up the middle and capitalized.
When you bring your linebackers outside off the edge, what do you do if the run pops? You better hope your safety can make the play, and that's actually what happened right there. You live by the blitz. Sometimes you do die by the blitz, and that's what happened to Hahnville right there. The safety didn't make the play. Nice run, nice hole. The blitz helped open the hole up, and now Mandeville's on the board.
An extra point away from tying it. It'll be Creighton Wilbanks, the sophomore kicker. Had one blocked a week ago. And this one is low and missed it wide left. No good. So Hahnville will hold on to the lead, 7-6 with 9:06 remaining in the quarter. Another look at the touchdown, Wade.
You saw the blitz run right past it? They come off the outside edge, one off the outside edge in the D gap, one off the C gap to his left. Ball hits right up into the A-B gap right there. The only guy left there is the free safety. The free safety doesn't make the play, you're going to score. That's exactly what happened. They died by the blitz.
Tonight's coverage, Wade, on Crescent City Sports, brought to you by Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute. Get the same sports medicine care the pros receive with minimally invasive treatments and quicker recovery times. Visit Ochsner.org/sportsmed to learn more or to schedule an appointment near you. By the way, the clinic in Elmwood, Saturday morning appointment. You're playing tonight, and you get dinged up, get over there Saturday morning, get things checked out.
They're finished with that building over there?
Oh, they redid it. It's a spectacular facility with so many aspects. You know, their sports medicine program, all the different things that go into it, and you know they have really, turned that entire campus into a great sports med facility. Staff of doctors, staff of physical therapists, so many different things that they're doing. Well,
that's
training.
Right.
There's a number of different components to.
Well, that's great for coaching staffs and training staffs in the local area. They can get their kids seen immediately, get them diagnosed, and get them well on the way to getting well in treatment with their treatment. So we will see Wilbanks kick off for the first time this evening. Craig Jones says he's got enough leg to get it into the end zone. He showed it right there, and that's a touchback. And that's what you want to see. We saw that last Thursday night with Corbello at Jesuit. He kept putting all his kickoffs into the end zone. Well, I'll tell you what, when you're starting at the 20 all the time, that really, from the defensive aspect, that really gives your defense a boost when they got 80 yards of field to their tail.
So Hahnville back on offense after that 11-play, 72-yard drive. Got him out front. Now it's a 1-point lead. It's Gregson at quarterback, 2 backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Toss sweep. Brooks, room to run, out past the 30, 40, midfield, and into Hahnville, or Mandeville territory, rather. Let's see where they spot the football at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 31.
Brooks with the Jets right there on the simple toss sweep to his left. He's a junior, catches that ball, gets his shoulder pads downhill real fast. Look at the blocking on the edge right there. They tie everything up. Great block with the support coming up out of the secondary, and he's off to the races. Love to see the old toss sweep with the lead blocker.
They call it at USC, student body left. Fake the toss sweep, give it away to one of the up men this time, and that was Smith on the carry. Give him about a yard.
21 personnel, got 2 backs, 1 tight end in there, and now we have a down Tiger down there. Looks like one of the offensive linemen. Looks like number 58, possibly. Let's just hope it's a cramp. But that, the toss sweep is still a great play. A lot of people don't use it anymore, all right? And, what is old is still good, and what is old can still be new.
52. That's Jaden Rosales, the senior left guard.
Good to see him up and moving.
Yeah, it's like he's just trying to flex it out a little bit, so we'll...
That looks like me getting up every morning out of bed.
It's like Riley Hampton may check in his stead here on the 2nd and 9 coming up. Hampton, number 71, the junior. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later that we see Rosales return. So at the Mandeville 48-yard line, once again 2 backs, offset eye, and they'll toss it once again, trying to do the same thing, and very nearly got the same result with Brooks out very close to the sticks.
Look, let me tell you who's setting that edge out there. That's those 2 offensive tackles. In that case, that time it was the right tackle out there, Marcus Garcia. He gets on the edge right there, and he really stretches that thing out wide. So as that thing expands wide, it's creating all these inside lanes for the downhill attack of the running back. Brooks hits it downhill. Nice pickup right there for the first down.
One of the interesting things, and just kind of looking at the stats from last week, is rollout pass is incomplete, intended for Dakota Williams. Just a moment ago, we saw him on defense, and this time that's Showers defending him in a nice play.
Well, Showers was right there one-on-one. The only thing is he's lucky. He uses the wrong hand to make the rake. You can see here on the replay, he's in man coverage. He's running down. He's in phase right here as he comes into your picture. Watch him use his left hand to come all the way around. Okay, he's lucky he got a piece of that ball. He used his right hand. He needed to use his left hand right there. He was lucky that ball just didn't flop through. Gregson on the little keeper right there.
Third down coming up here. It's that went backwards. Loss of 2.
Well, I like how they took the shot. I mean, they take the shot there, and it's really nice to their best talented guy out there, Williams, and he was just a step away from catching that thing.
Yeah, that will likely go as a sack officially. So 3rd and 12. The line to make is just past the 30, and Daniel Luquette runs over to the line judge and gets a timeout with 6:57 to play here in the third quarter. And this is again, I would think, 4-down territory, Wade. You're at the 41. You get a little bit of this. It's obviously out of field goal range. It's on the fringe of punting range.
I think it's going to depend on what he does here on third down.
If you can get 6 or 7 here, get half of it back, then certainly you've got to think about it at least.
Well, you're going to look at that call sheet and you're going to dial up your best 4th and medium or short play. I agree. But if you're looking at something 3rd and long, something that you don't like on your call sheet for third and long, you're going to punt that thing down in the corner and try to play some defense, make them go a long way. At least that's my thinking. But I'm telling you right now, tonight, Daniel Luquette is kind of going against all odds from the standpoint that he's trying to prove a point. And he's trying to prove a point to his kids after last week's loss to Newman. Set the tone, should I say.
So here we go on 3rd and 12. Gregson escapes. Now he's got room to run. He gets to the sticks, and he's there and then some. Out near the 20-yard line, a big gain on that 3rd and 12. That's the thing when you're playing. I guess that was man across the board there that Mandeville was playing. You can get some open lanes for your quarterback to be able to run the football.
They're in man free, spread out. You'll see the free safety in the center of the field, but everything else is manned by the safety coming down and safety coming across with the motion right there. He took off. Nobody was there to defend the quarterback.
So the ball at the 21-yard line is Hahnville right on the edge of the red zone right here.
Look, I love the man free, but a lot of times you got to make sure that you know when the ball's being run.
Gregson will put it down again, and he'll turn nothing into a little bit of something right there, maybe about 2.5 on the gain. It was Juan Canales, the sophomore defensive end, on the stop for Mandeville. Call it a gain of 2.
When you're running defenders off and they're running downfield with their numbers back at the ball right there, the only guy that's looking back upfield is that free safety. That free safety, if he's in man free, has got to be able to communicate run, and the brakes have got to be put on so those guys can retrace their steps to come up and help with run support, right? Those linebackers can't get walled off. Those defensive linemen have got to stay in their lanes because the next threat is the quarterback who can run the ball like Gregson right there, and he's taking advantage of it.
So we hit the 6-minute mark. That's the hydration timeout. If you didn't join us last week, that's the month of September in Louisiana high school football. We take hydration breaks. At that point, it becomes an option and see how the weather is. Look, we get into September with more Friday nights like tonight. It may end sooner rather than later. I remember last year it was still it was still pretty hot in October, and we extended it a little bit.
Right. It's up to the associations that's calling the game, and those guys are going to make sure that the players stay hydrated, and they are going to err on the side of caution for safety and make sure nobody goes down. But let's remember this. These athletes are conditioned. These staffs do a great job all summer long teaching not only nutrition but hydration, but also getting their players in shape to handle heat issues and heat situations. We've seen maybe in 2 weeks, 2 cramps? Maybe a couple last week.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
That's a credit to the staffs and the kids.
No doubt. And a lot of that trickles down as well from the LHSA office in Baton Rouge. Handling the high snap. Gregson taking a shot at the end zone. Incomplete. That was intended for, I believe that was Dakota Williams again.
Dakota Williams running the corner route. They're running the little China route, the little smash route. The number 1 wide receiver is going to hitch it up real fast, and watch Dakota Williams try to run the corner right there. There's a hitch in the end. There's the ball. Looks like that might have hit him in the back of the helmet. Wow. Didn't get his head around, didn't get his hands up.
So on 3rd and 8, line to make is just outside the 10. Whistles before this can get going, and that was a near disaster for Hahnville.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was lucky. They're lucky that whistle blew because that ball was on the ground quick.
And it's a false start against the Tigers. Not a lot of penalties in this game tonight.
Well, it's also one of the good things about having a 5-man crew. You don't have as many eyes.
There you go.
It's spoken like a coach, right?
Exactly.
There you go. How many guys you want out there tonight? I said, give me 4, you know?
So 3rd down and 13. They'll go back to that toss sweep. Different back this time. And that is Josh Joseph on the carry. He will come up well short, a gain of about 2.
Juan Carnelis was there for the initial hit. Sophomore defensive end, 5'9", 225. Made the initial hit to slow everything down to let that pursuit of those white jerseys get there. Going to bring up 4th down.
Looks like they're going to try the field goal here.
There we go.
Dylan Patterson from 39 yards. And the holder is Scardino. Kick is on the way. It's low, and it is no good wide left.
Just didn't get up, didn't have a chance. Looked like it kind of came off his foot a little wobbly there, and it was wide left and just didn't have the elevation.
So a good stop for the Skippers there to hold Mandeville out as they were into the red zone. Mandeville will take over at the 20. Again, Federation rules here. In college and pro, college it's going back to the spot. Pro, it's going to the point of where the ball was kicked. Any missed field goal in high school football, the ball is going to the 20-yard line. Slant on first down, pass is incomplete as the pass by DeRoche was intended for Donovan McGowan.
McGowan wants that one back. I think it hit him right in the hands on the slant route off the RPO. Ooh, my. Here's another look at it. You can see him coming from your right. There's your slant. Bang. No better place to hit you.
That's it. So on 2nd and 10, DeRoche.
Blitz.
Can't get away from it. He's brought down at about the 10-yard line.
Little delayed blitz. Number 40, Bo Parker, comes from his
and I believe
linebacker position and gets home.
Was Simmons in there as well.
Yeah, Simmons got home. Watch Parker right here. Opens up. Guard doesn't even get to him. He gets home. Simmons gets home. You're looking at 3rd and an Uber ride.
Call it 3rd and 19 officially. They'll put it at the 11-yard line. Got to get to the 30. DeRoche throws it out in the flat. Just a smart play right there. Don't go in the wrong direction again. And Shepard on the catch. But he comes up well short of the first down, and Mandeville will have to punt it away.
It was nicely defended by Jalen Williams. Senior linebacker out there, wasn't fooled by the screen, got through the blockers, makes a nice push out of bounds, and it's going to bring up a punting situation for the Skippers. Hahnville will take the ball over in really nice field position.
Chance to maybe get this on the Mandeville side of the 50. As we'll call Garrett Gleason's name for the first time tonight. Just beat the play clock. Gleason, not a bad kick, and a fair catch is called for. That was Dakota Williams taking it in at the 45-yard line. So indeed, Hahnville is going to start on the Mandeville side of the 50 with 4:08 remaining. Stay with us at halftime, folks. A lot to get to at the break. Had a chance to visit earlier this week with our recruiting expert, Renee Nato. We'll talk about Louisiana high school recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on at LSU and Tulane on that front. And if you didn't hear the news today, we know about what is going to be happening with playoffs in Louisiana high school sports in 2022-23. Wade and I will get into that
there we go.
As well. Plus, of course, we'll check in on our All-State Sugar Bowl scoreboard. Got to get a flag there. They had lined up in the formation with 12.
Can't do that. Delay a game. There you go. You can only go on the field into the huddle with 11, right? They go in with 12. You're going to get a flag every time. So you're going to back it up 5. You're going to play 1st and 15. Yeah, it's nice to know what's going to happen with the playoffs. It's only the second week of the season, right? So that's good. I can be critical, right?
Well, it certainly would have been nice to have the answers before it started. Not that you were going to change your schedule.
Right.
But
right. It's just...
Yeah. Oh, a little trickeration here on 1st and 15. Now looking to get the edge. Nice stiff arm and down the sidelines. Inside the 20-yard line and down. Let's see, they're going to mark him out back here. He stepped out of bounds. But a reverse call that time as Daniel Luquette goes into his bag of trips, and Dakota Williams carries for a gain of 35.
Well, Dakota Williams needs to buy lunch next week for Titus White, number 10, the wide receiver down here at the bottom of your screen. Look at the blocking Titus White does right. Coming up right here. Look at that. Stays on his block, keeps his hands inside, and allows him to spring the ball for another 20 or 30 yards down the boundary. Great job. I love to see those wide receivers block.
So Gregson at quarterback hands it off on first down, and not much doing as Calvin Smith tries to make something out of it. Looks like he got a couple.
Bounced around in there, had a little penetration by the Mandeville Skippers, especially in the A-gaps.
So it's going to be second down, 8 ball at the 13-yard line. You've got 6 different Hahnville players who have carried the ball in the first half, Wade.
Well,
and they've all got significant yardage.
Well, that shows their depth, shows their athleticism, and it gives them also, from week 2, a lot of experience moving forward.
Nice carry. Still on his feet and into the end zone. Touchdown. What a run by Josh Joseph. He was stopped at about the 7-yard line, kept the feet moving, broke away, and went in for the score.
Mandeville had a lot of guys there. There were a lot of white jerseys around him at about the 3-yard line. He just kept, he didn't want to be denied, just kept his feet moving. Joseph just pushes his way into the end zone to put the Tigers back on the board again.
A 3-play, 45-yard drive needed just 58 seconds this time. Dylan Patterson on to make it an 8-point game, and it is good. And your new score with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the second quarter, Hahnville 14 and Mandeville 6.
Look how he's not denied right there. There's a lot of guys there to make the tackle. He just does not want to go down. He keeps them legs churning, knees pumping, and he gets himself into the end zone to put the Tigers up by 8.
So that 3 and out is enormous there after the missed field goal, because they turn it into, get the stop, get the ball on the Mandeville side of the 50 and quickly score.
Well, that's that hidden yardage again, right? I mean, where the special teams gets you in a situation where you're going to start on your side of the field, and it allows you to be a little bit more liberal with what you're going to do with your play calling. You can do certain things. You can run reverses. You can be a little bit more proactive with what you're going to do. You know, Mandeville now has got to try to find some answers to get this ball down the field a little bit and start moving the sticks in the next 3 minutes and 10 seconds. They want to get back on that board before they got to go in at halftime.
Yeah, remember, Hahnville gets the ball to start the third quarter, and here's a big return, trying to bounce it outside. It looked like there was room to run up the middle that time, but didn't work out that way.
Look, Scardino's got to learn north and south.
Yeah.
Right? You can't put the brakes on right here and go east and west. You got to get north and south. One move and go.
So Mandeville will start this drive at the 27-yard line and nothing doing on first down.
They got blown up at the start. I mean, Mandeville's offensive line just got pushed around by the big guys up front from Hahnville. Those guys just kind of set the line of scrimmage about 3 yards into the backfield and just smashed everything down to bring up 2nd and 10 again.
Call it officially a loss of 1 on the play. DeRoche back to pass, taking a shot down the field and in and out of the hands of his receiver. But there was some nice defense as well right there, as McGowan could not bring that one in.
Great defense right there. Everybody's going to say, hold on, that's face guarding. He's up and he's guarding his face with his hands. Well, that rule no longer applies in high school or college. You don't have to get your head around anymore right there. So he did a nice job getting his hand up to be able to inhibit the sight of the ball. Good defense right there according to the rules, and no longer is there face guarding in high school, folks. So I know everybody was screaming about that just now.
DeRoche underneath, caught, room to run, out past the 40, down to the 45, and then some. That is Brendan Scardino, out to the 47-yard line and a first down.
Great hands right there, still running a little east and west, trying to run away instead of running to, right? So, but nice hands on the slant route right there by Scardino. Here's a good look at it. Clear, slant underneath. He's got separation. Just let's get that foot planted and get north and south. You still have a lot of time on the clock.
McGowan, check that. That's DeRoche on the pass. Caught, room to run, and Shepard turning this into something big and all the way for a touchdown.
My, oh my, Shepard just ran away from everybody. There was nobody there, right? So he turns, he gets north and south, and he just shoots past all these purple jerseys straight into the end zone. I know we'll get a great look at that again, and everybody will see how he kind of gets shot out of the gun right at about the 30-yard or 20-yard line, and he just goes vertical, and it's a foot race for that last 20 yards with anything around him not catching him in a purple jersey.
Well, 2-point game, you're not going to chase points this early in the second quarter. Point after try is good, and it's a 14-13 game with 1:52 to play.
They set up the screen nicely, get a couple blocks downfield, and watch him just run right past purple jerseys. 1, 2, 3, right there. Very nice execution on the screen by the Mandeville Skippers. Shepard really showed his speed right there. 5'9", 170-pound sophomore. I can see they like this guy. He's got a lot of football to play for them in the future to do great things. So we got a whole new ball game with 1:52.
Yeah, it's entertaining thus far in this first half.
A lot of offense.
Back and forth we go.
Again, with the man coverage, Hahnville's living with a lot of this man-free coverage, and they were in it again right there. So everything was ran off. The linemen slide out in a screen, and ball's dumped, and there's just nothing there. And all of a sudden, your back is running into the secondary like he was, and there was just nothing there to make a tackle.
How about that quick turn of events? It was 3rd and 11, and then a gain of 21 and a gain of 53, and you're in the end zone.
Chunks, big plays, chunk plays, explosive plays.
Kickoff will once again reach the end zone. And so Hahnville has 152, and they're 80 yards away from their goal line in a 14-13 game.
Well, I figure somewhere in this particular drive in 152, we're going to see Dakota Williams touch this football. The kind of do-it-all type of guy for the Tigers, and Mandeville lines up in their man-free look again. Reverse pass. Throwback.
Got the man open out here, and you wanted to see number 5 touch it. He did, but he also lost the football, but I believe it went out of bounds.
Well, it was set up from the last reverse, correct? Well, yeah. There you go.
White on the pass and Williams on the catch.
Here we go. Look at the play. There's your reverse. Great protection. There's Dakota Williams slipping out the backfield. Again, with the man coverage, nobody to account for him as he's coming out of the backfield right there.
And on 1st and 10, rollout pass caught, and another first down. Gregson to Josh Smith, the tight end, who had a 79-yard touchdown last week against Newman.
Well, Josh Smith's a nice-looking receiver. I tell you, I was down on the field looking at every long inch of that guy, 6'3", 200-pound big tight end that can play wide receiver also.
Little interesting look there, and that's another run for a first down. It's still going, still on his feet, down inside the 10, down to about the 5-yard line. And that was like C.J. Smith kind of ran his own counter there, Wade. He took one step one way and then came back and then made a little shuffle step and took off down the right sideline.
Well, his counter tray, they pulled 2 offensive linemen. The counter with Smith right there. He's going to bounce it to the outside. But the subject of the play is the poor tackling by Mandeville down the boundary.
So from the 5, Gregson turns what should have been a busted play into a touchdown. Well, that's just good heads-up play right there.
Well, a lot of times when that ball goes on the ground like that, defensive linemen have a tendency, as well as everybody on defense, might kind of stop their feet for a second. Gregson heads up, picks the ball up, gets north and south, gets into the end zone for another Tiger score. That didn't take long.
Only 48 seconds. Point after is good. And with 1:04 to play in the first half, your new score is Hahnville 21, Mandeville 13. So we've seen scoring drives the last 3 possessions of 58 seconds, 118 and 48 seconds. Each one of them effectively 4 plays. There was a penalty and then 3 plays on the previous Hahnville scoring drive. So based on that, there's plenty of time here for the Skipper offense to get something done.
Well, it's like a vintage race car, right? It just takes a little while for all that oil to kick in and get kind of wound up, and I think that's what's happening here. These two offenses are taking off like vintage race cars, and they're looking for some answers on defense, and one of them is they got to tackle better. Both sides of the ball, when they get people there, they got to bring receivers and running backs down. All this man coverage, it's getting taken advantage of also by both offenses. Screens, RPOs and things like that are attacking it.
Kickoff to about the 9, and this is going to be well defended and stopped before reaching the 20-yard line. That was McGowan on the return. And 58 seconds for Mandeville to work here.
Well, they could definitely do it.
They got 82 yards to go?
Right. It's in their repertoire. They can do it. And especially if Hahnville is going to give them that man-free look again, they have the weapons to attack it. Look who comes on the field at the free safety position.
As he should.
As he should.
As Dakota Williams, who's been outstanding in this first half. He's got a 25-yard reception, a 35-yard run, a pass breakup, done some things on special teams. On first down, DeRoche throwing, caught, room to run, 40, midfield, 40, 35, dragged down from behind. Are we going to see... I think they wanted a horse collar tackle there, but he really pulled him down by the jersey as that was Scardino on the catch. That is a gain of 50 out to the 32-yard line.
Great route by Scardino right there. Runs a little in route, catches the ball, and just does a little whirly around and blurts right out of there for a huge gain.
50 on the reception, and that gives Scardino over 100 yards receiving in the first half. And that also puts the quarterback, DeRoche, over 200 yards passing. Nowhere to run, as a nice job of defending the perimeter by the Hahnville defense. And Craig Jones is going to have to use a timeout right here as a big loss on the play by Shepard. I think it's going to go as a loss of 5.
Well, that's as bad as a sack. You can't take a sack right here with 36 seconds left. It's going to make you use one of your timeouts right there. He reversed field on the option play. Everybody was there in a purple jersey saying hello. And Winds up being a loss of 5. Take a look at the option play right here. Pitch the ball, hold the ball, don't know what to do. Everybody's there in purple. Reverse the field. I'm not going anywhere. It's going to cost a timeout. Got to think players. Get the ball in the hands of those receivers right here. They have a fine receiving core. Talking about Mandeville. Get the ball into those guys' hands. Let them run with that football.
Unofficially, I have DeRoche with 231 yards passing in the first half. By the way, 124 of that have come on his last 3 attempts. But they're popping some big plays. They've had a 46-yard completion, a 53-yard completion, a 50-yard completion.
It's like dropping that race car down into 4th, man. Those guys know how to roll. Man free coverage. Watch the blitz. See if it comes. There it is.
Going top of your screen. Pass is caught. Trying to get to the perimeter. Gets it to the 30 to about the 29. As that was McGowan on the catch.
Tell you what offensive linemen like to do. They like to get out there in screens and pulverize a defensive back.
And another timeout, by the way.
Right there. Mandeville had one of their big offensive linemen. I believe that was big number 70 out there that made that block.
That's Caleb Collada.
Caleb Collada made a great block.
Listed at 5'9", 260 pounds.
Look, let me tell you something. It's kind of like my dog, right? I say it's dinner time. She comes running. She goes through walls. She goes through doors. She goes across the couch, right? She knows it's dinner time. That's an offensive lineman getting out there. He's looking at a defensive back like it's a steak, right? Whack. They love to get out there and make those hits on screens. And Jacob Collada did a great job right there to spring the running back.
Looking around at some of the scores in the state. Very big game tonight in Zachary. Zachary is hosting John Curtis Christian. At the half, the Broncos lead the Patriots 20-14.
Whoa, good football game.
Got a good one here thus far. Got off to a little bit of a slow start. Took us, till the last minute of the first quarter to get points on the board. We've already had 5 touchdowns in this one. Got a chance for more in the final 23 seconds of the half as Daniel Luquette is going to use a timeout. I believe that's his third and final one, and Greg Jones has one left on his side. So we're coming up here to a 3rd down and 7, the ball at the 29-yard line, and this is, based on what we've seen from Mandeville's kicking game, this is clearly 4-down territory. You've got to, you're not going to try the PAT here.
Your best 3rd down play right here, thinking player, not play, right? So what player matches your best play right here for 3rd down? You're going to anticipate man coverage, either that or you might go out there and look at and see what you have and then make that call from the boundary. It could be a check with me situation right here.
Halftime at Lupin Field, Uptown. Newman leading Riverside 14-7. Good one going on there. Riverside, pretty good team. You saw the performance by their running back last week. Over 300 yards rushing. Right. It was our area player of the week as DeRoche throws, caught inside the 10 and in for the touchdown goes Nate Shepard.
Nate Shepard was unguarded coming out of the backfield. Again, man coverage. Right? You have man coverage. Nobody accounts for the back out of the backfield. Nate Shepard running down the boundary at the between the numbers and the sideline. All the quarterback had to do is step up a little bit. DeRoche's vision cleared, dump the ball off. Easy 6 points for the Skippers in a short amount of time.
Point after try is on the way, and no good wide left.
Oh, my goodness.
So how about this? In the last, Hahnville got the ball with 4:08 remaining after that punt, and it was a 7-6 game at that point. Okay? So we have had 4 touchdowns now in the last 3 minutes, well, less than 3 minutes of this half. Is that drive took just 51 seconds, 4 plays, 82 yards. But special teams right now are key. We've seen 2 missed extra points from Mandeville, and that is the difference in this football game right now. 21-19 with 13 seconds to play.
Look, I don't know about you, but my neck is going right and left. It's like I'm watching the U.S. Open. I mean, these guys are moving the ball up and down the field at breakneck speed. At halftime, they're going to have to sit down and try to figure a couple things out defensively on how to slow things down.
So unofficial, I have Cooper DeRoche with 269 yards passing in the first half.
Wow.
And a couple of touchdowns as well. And in fact, Shepard has scored all 3 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 2 in the air.
Well, Shepard has a nice set of hands. He's not only a nice little north and south runner, but out of the backfield, he'll catch the football for you, and he can prove that he can do something with it after he catches.
Puts this one back to the 5-yard line. But the only thing we haven't seen is a big kick return, and up the sideline with room to run, getting out of bounds. That was Titus White getting out at about the 39-yard line with 5 seconds left. Gives you one chance to at least try to pop a play here.
Absolutely. And you throw the ball deep to Dakota Williams.
Yeah, keep in mind, Hahnville does get the ball to start the second half.
Look,
Williams is lined up to the bottom of your screen.
There you go. Keep an eye on number 5.
It will be Ryan Gregson at quarterback. Ramel Hardy at the top. I got a timeout, Lakeshore, I believe, before this play gets started. Yes. Lakeshore, I'm sorry, Mandeville. I knew I would do that at some point tonight.
Right.
We were talking about that.
Right.
Yeah, of course, we can get into, Craig Jones was very successful at Lakeshore.
Correct.
Led the Titans to a state championship game in 4A. They were the number 1 seed a couple of years ago in 4A. And Warren Easton went up there and knocked them out in the semifinals on their home field. So a lot of success in that program. But he's a Mandeville grad, got a chance to go over to Mandeville this spring and in his first season there. And ironically enough, Mandeville may not get to play a home game this year because they're in the process of putting all the artificial turf fields in St. Tammany Parish. You got weather, you got other considerations. All these schools play soccer, you've got track, everything else. And it's very possible that they may not get to play a home game this year. They played their first game at Lakeshore last week.
Yeah, and that's going on all over the parish up there. As it just depends on when they started and what is the schedule of completion.
And obviously, like I say, the weather has played a part in the delays of getting that done.
Better double cover number 5.
So here's Gregson rolling out, throwing caught, and the horn will sound to end the first half as Titus White makes the grab at the 45-yard line, a gain of 16. And that brings us to the end of a very entertaining first half. And your score, Hahnville 21 and Mandeville 19. Wade, your thoughts on what we just saw in the first 24 minutes, or maybe what we saw in the last 4 minutes after the first 20 minutes. It was just kind of, 7-6, kind of an ordinary game. What we saw in the last 4 minutes was, you got that track running around the field here. It turned into a track meet.
Well, you're kind of yawning to start off with, right? I mean, that's what a defensive shootout is going to look like. A 7-6 ball game, good defense, right? Then all of a sudden, bang, U.S. Open. Serve, counter serve, hit the ball back, because these guys got going. It's kind of like they pressed a button inside their automobile and they just took off. And, that's a credit to the offensive staffs and the talent that's out there on the field, especially that Mandeville receiving core and especially Dakota Williams from Hahnville, who was the kind of the catalyst for the Hahnville Tigers with the reverses, the reverse passes, a couple big plays, a bomb here, a catch there, and tell you what, it's been really entertaining since the turn of the first quarter.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, bands are going to take the field. Teams are going to go talk things over. I had a chance to catch up with our Crescent City Sports colleague Renee Nato earlier this week, who knows a lot about recruiting, whether it's on the high school level, what the colleges are doing, trying to put together their class. And we got into all of that and started with the guy who was on this field last Friday night, Arch Manning, at Newman. Here's our visit with Renee. talk recruiting, and there's no better person to bring into the conversation than our recruiting expert at Crescent City Sports, Renee Nato. Renee, it's good to have you with us, and here we are into another football season, the high school football season underway, the college football season underway, the NFL season about to get underway. We love talking about all things Louisiana football, but let's focus on recruiting in the class of 2023, and it's great once again to have high-profile recruits coming out of Louisiana, coming out of the city of New Orleans, and the conversation, of course, has to start with Newman quarterback Arch Manning. You've had a chance to see him. Your thoughts as he heads into his senior year. I've got a theory, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the fact that he committed in the summer before his senior year to Texas.
Well, first of all, you have to be impressed with things that you can see and things that you can't see in Arch. First of all, physically, he's making throws that a normal high school quarterback cannot make. In some cases, a young college quarterback. The deep out, the accuracy on his throws, and of course, the things you cannot see, the way he processes a play, the changes he makes, the good decisions he makes, things he's learned, and Coach Nelson Stewart will tell you that he's really, really matured. And of course, with his family tree, his family background, a lot of that is embedded in him. But the thing is, he's worked very, very hard at his craft, and he's certainly, if not the best quarterback in the country, he's among the top two.
The team picture doesn't take long to shoot, does it? So, look, it's one thing I think doing what he did in June, unlike his uncles who waited until after their senior year, or really until signing day to make their decisions, is he's taken a lot of pressure off of himself, really off of his family for that matter, and maybe a distraction for his football team, whose goal is to go get to a state championship game for the first time in Newman history, perhaps even win a state championship for the first time in Newman history. And by doing that, and Will Randall as well, is his favorite target at tight end, who's also going to Texas, then I think that's a good thing for them. Unlike, again, what his two uncles did.
Well, too, like you said, Lenny, he got the process out of the way. He knew where he was going. I kind of thought, I was pretty sure a while back that that's where he was going. It looked like a good fit for him, and the coaching situation is ready for a quarterback like Arch Manning. But the thing is that not only it got the pressure off of him, but as you said, the family, the team, the coaching staff, because people are always looking for an edge. Like, where do you think he's going? And the coaching staff and the players, his teammates, his family, his surrounding family, always getting questioned about where Arch may want to go. Everybody wants to get an inside scoop. So it took a lot of pressure off of him, the annoyance and aggravation away from his family and friends and teammates, and I think he did it for the right reasons. And I think it's going to be a good fit. Steve Sarkisian is a really, really good quarterback coach, and I based a lot of decision on I thought that's where he was going, because Steve Sarkisian is going to focus a lot of his attention on Arch, and I think that's what's going to happen.
I mentioned Will Randall, who will join Arch Manning at Texas. Where do you see his future? Is it as a tight end, or is it on defense? We saw in week one with Will, he could certainly catch the football, but great instincts, had a pick six from his defensive end position. Where in your mind is his future?
That's a tough call to make. He certainly can be a good receiver. He's a good blocker. He's very physical, and that's why they're going to give him a look at defensive end. That's going to be the call of the Texas coaches. But I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if they give him a shot at first at defensive end and see how that works out. And if he really doesn't take to the position, the scheme defensively, then I can always put him on offense. But I think initially they're going to give a lot of thought to, is he a good fit? And also, where does Texas need the most help? Do they need a tight end in a rotation? Do they need a defensive end with his skills? So it's going to depend on the depth chart and the rotation. Where is he most needed?
Let's talk about some skill guys, and really you look down into St. James Parish. With the wide receiver from St. James and Preen and Winfield, the quarterback at Lutcher, who figures maybe not to be a quarterback, certainly down the road. Maybe he gets a shot depending on where he goes to play quarterback, at least in college, but he's such a good athlete that he could literally play anywhere on the field. Of course, Preen committed to LSU already. Winfield. Your thoughts just maybe on some of the skill talent in the metro area this year?
Well, Winfield is a good talent. He's a big kid. He's over 200 pounds, and he's very physical, and he's a leader type. He's an athletic type quarterback. So Dwayne Winfield's a guy that an offense that look for his skill set can use him as a dual threat is what he would be good. The thing that I like about this area is you got some quarterbacks. This year Arch Manning is in there. You got Tyree Adams out of St. Augustine. You got some size, not only locally but statewide. You got some skill. You got a lot of speed. You're always going to have wide receivers both in the metro area and statewide, but you're always going to have defensive backs, which Ryan Robinson from Carr comes to mind. He's an outstanding cover guy. Caden Jones, offensive tackle from De La Salle. He's with Tyree Adams. That's two big guys who are capable of playing in college. But the thing is that on a state level, Lenny, you got three quarterbacks: Arch Manning, Eli Holstein, Ricky Collins. Those are guys who are going to major colleges. Collins going to LSU. Holstein committed to Alabama, and Arch Manning. Then you got the guy Zay Tset from Scotlandville. You got Mooney. Darnell Mooney is the guy who is from Denham Springs, is committed to Liberty. And then you got A.J. Samuel from Edna Carr. So you got 6 quarterbacks there that could play on a major college football level. And that's very unusual for a state to turn out that many, for Louisiana. That's very unusual for Louisiana to have that many college prospects at quarterback.
And the other thing that we see so often, and we're in the River Parishes on this Friday night, it seems to happen more in the River Parish than anywhere else. You take your best athlete and you stick them at quarterback, and that's what Destrehan has done with Jai Eugene. He really projects more as a cornerback, maybe a wide receiver at the next level. A bunch of Destrehan kids have committed to Tulane. I know you like the talent on that team, and there's a lot of others. Obviously, St. Augustine's very deep. Edna Carr's very deep in terms of the talent that they may be producing that's going to head on to the next level. So, I guess that leads us to the next thing. Maybe there's a guy out there who isn't in your top 10 that you would, just because they're not getting highly recruited, you would say, hey, if somebody like, a Tulane or, somebody else in that group of 5 or even an FCS school can grab this guy, he's got a chance to really be outstanding at the next level.
Well, I tell you what, this is a poorly kept secret, but a guy who I've liked. I've considered him the best running back in the metro area since my list came out was Elijah Davis from Riverside, and he proved it. Over 300 yards last week, against St. Thomas Aquinas. He reminds me a lot of LaDainian Tomlinson. That's who his style reminds me of. Very similar in stature, in speed, and ability. LaDainian Tomlinson, as you may know, set an NFL record, 31 touchdowns in 2006, the most ever scored in one season. Elijah Davis is committed to UL, and he may stay there, but I'm going to tell you what, a lot of people have missed out on him and maybe underestimated how good he can be. He's one guy, I think, and Destrehan is absolutely loaded with talent. Marcus Scott, he'd have to really do something bad to screw this team up, and I joke with him about that. Not only does Destrehan have outstanding seniors this year, but they have juniors, they have sophomores, so Destrehan should be a power for the next 2 to 3 years.
The folks watching Hahnville tonight may not be overjoyed to hear that one. Let's talk schools out there. LSU last 2 months making really a major rally under Brian Kelly. They got off to a slow start in the class of 23. Really, since July 1st, they've really kind of rallied back in terms of what they've been able to do. Up to 23 commitments now. Willie Fritz and Tulane starting to build their numbers as well. Your thoughts on where they stand in September, still really 5 months before the signing class is put to bed?
Well, LSU, start with LSU. They have 5 out of top 10 in the state right now. They got the best 2 running backs, and Caleb Jackson and Trey Holly out of Union Parish. They got the best 2 offensive tackles in Tyree Adams and Zalen's Hurd. And Ricky Collins is going to be a great add there. They got Priyan from St. James. So they are really hitting stride at the right time. They have receivers. They got a lot of receivers nationwide that they've picked up. But Tulane has 4 of the top 50 prospects in the state, which is very unusual. I mean, he's got the Dakota Williams, a young man from from Hahnville, who you're very familiar with. He's also got Jai Eugene from Destrehan, who I think will be a cornerback. He's very athletic, and Jai Eugene is a leader type. He's a guy that is going to be a great leader at Destrehan, and I think he'll be a guy that may get an opportunity at Tulane very, very early. Tulane also got Jari Garner, the defensive end from St. Augustine, who I like a lot as a pass rusher. So Willie Fritz has gotten 4 out of the top 50 players in Louisiana, which is, I think, a pretty good season. So for those who think he doesn't recruit Louisiana, Willie Fritz has done a good job this year. And I tell you what, I think Brian Kelly knows there is a lot of talent here. He has 9 players from Louisiana, and all those players are highly rated.
We've seen a lot of coaching changes in the offseason in Louisiana. How have... Yeah, obviously LSU the most noteworthy with Brian Kelly, but I believe there are 6 first-year head coaches at the 10 Division I schools in Louisiana. So not a lot of turnover perhaps in Lafayette, and that they stayed in-house and promoted Mike Desormeaux to replace Billy Napier. But are you seeing some things, perhaps players reacting differently to that than maybe they would have to more established staffs? Not really.
I mean, you got Tim Rebo at Nichols and Frank Salfo at Southeastern, and LSU, Tulane, of course. Southern has a new coach and Grambling, but for the most part, young men have been watching how the program is, and even though there's a coaching change, there's not going to be a tremendous, drastic change in philosophy. I mean, no one's going to the wishbone attack or anything like that. So it's kind of where a young man's heart is. An assistant coach can always sway a young man or whoever, stuff like that. But for the most part, young men who have had a state school on their radar has at least kept interest in the state schools. There's always an opportunity to go out of state, but a lot of young men who are looking at state schools, staying in state, I think still have Louisiana as an option.
Class of 23 will be in the books before you know it. It's still 5 months away, but before you know it, you're going to start looking ahead to the class of 24 very soon.
Yeah, and I tell you, 2024, usually at this time I could look ahead a year and say I can come up with maybe 20 guys who are going to be major prospects in the metro New Orleans area. Right now, on my initial list, Lenny, I have about 35, 36 names from the 2024 class from the greater metro area who are going to be prospects. So that speaks very highly of the talent that's coming out of this area, who are juniors right now, who will be major prospects in many cases for 2024.
Look for that very soon at CrescentCitySports.com. Renee, thank you for the time, and we'll look forward to talking to you again very soon about more recruiting.
Always my pleasure. Thank you, Lenny.
And our thanks to Renee Nadeau. Always a wealth of information. And as we get set for the start of the second half here in Boutte, what's been a very entertaining first half, the story of the day is off the field, and that is the news from the LHSA about what playoffs are going to look like this year. You see the graphic on your screen. We've got now fewer brackets, and 26 schools won their appeal to change the numbers of what we had in terms of select and non-select. You see the numbers now. It's leaning a little more non-select than select. Like I said, 8 brackets in these sports, and there are going to be 4 on the non-select side, 4 on the select side. And there you see what the football numbers will look like. On the non-select side, it's a 28-team bracket. Effectively, is about 44 teams in each division, broken up equally. And on the select side, 24 teams in the bracket. There's about 34 schools in each bracket, broken up equally. Now, these 2 teams we're looking at tonight, both were on the non-select side, never left the non-select side, didn't have to appeal. That's the situation there. But now that we have a resolution on this, your thoughts on what things look like, Wade?
Well, I think from the beginning, the whole idea of what was taking place a few weeks back, especially at the summer meetings, when they came up with 4.4.4 in the ruling, was to bring things back into line the best they could to be able to get all those buys off the brackets. All right, it's out there. They're not going to change select, non-select. That's not going to happen. But by redefining select schools, I think what that did is that brought more schools back into line to be able to fill and even things out on both sides of the bracket, which from the beginning is what most coaches want.
Well, and the other thing that Eddie Bonine said, take it however you will take it, is that over the course of the last decade, when we first saw this split, how schools are doing business is different. Okay?
Correct.
And you've got, non-select schools acting like select schools out there.
Well, look, and let's just call it like it is. A lot of the non-select schools that are out there, in their school districts, the way the business is done with charters and different magnets and movement and enrollment, free enrollments.
Yeah, one app in Orleans, yeah.
Correct. There's really no difference between a select and a non-select with that.
Very little.
But what I will say is, and what most coaches want, they want to stay away from having buys into the quarterfinals. They want to stay away from having to play the same teams they play in their district schedules, things of that nature. They want to stay away and get away from teams that are 1-9 teams, 2-8 teams entering brackets.
And that's a lot of what you've done.
Correct.
Because effectively you may have, let's approximate here, about 70% of your pool is what's actually making the playoffs. Thereabouts. And that's a manageable number. That's going to keep those 0-10s, those 1-9. You may get a 3-7, a 4-6. Okay, that's fine. Okay? But it does make it
fewer of those.
No doubt about it. Well, look, we normally look at scores here and at halftime. We'll get to some of those here as we go into second half, but we are about to kick off, and Hahnville's going to get it first here to start the second half, moving right to left as you and we view it. Kick away by Wilbanks, and this will bound into the end zone for a touchback.
And the last thing I'm going to say on it, I know we might bring it up a little bit later. Look, it's more balanced and it's fairer this way. If you're not going to get rid of the whole division split, then let's make it as fair and balanced as we possibly can. So they had to tweak the definition. They tweaked the definition. So I think if you talk to most coaches out there, they're going to applaud the new bracket situation moving forward. They're going to know where they have to stand at the end of the year to hopefully get one of those buys, if that's what they want.
And there are buys. There's going to be 8 buys on the,
there will be buys,
the select side and 4 on the non-select side. There's that wildcat look on first down, and room to run once again, and it's Calvin Smith out past the 40-yard line. Out to about the 41, maybe the 42-yard line, and we just continue to see these two teams just churn up yards in different ways. Hahnville's doing it mostly on the ground. Mandeville has done it quite a bit through the air.
Well, Hahnville is just trying to pound the offensive line when they get all of those guys in that backfield and give you that wildcat look or that jumbo look, however you want to call it. Here's another good look at it right now. There is no mistaking on where they're going to go with the ball.
More room to run, but it's quickly defended there. It looked like Smith could have bounced that outside, but give a lot of credit to Nick Pedavino from his free safety position, who filled quickly and snuffed that out, keeping it only to a gain of 2.
Yeah, Pedavino came up flying up there. Also sitting there was 96 Clarence Joseph from his defensive end position to plug that thing up. You got to bring more people up into the box to be able to combat this thing, and they've done that.
2nd and 8, the ball at the 43-yard line. Now, we see that look that we've talked about with 3 big guys there and trying to create some of an alley, and that is Titus White on the carry that time out to about the 49-yard line.
Outside linebacker Hayes Straits had a chance to make that play right there in the backfield. He came off the edge. He's kind of like the rover outside linebacker, moves over when the backfield shifted. He comes right off the edge untouched. He just doesn't make the play right there. Oh, my goodness gracious. He's going to want that play back tomorrow.
So it's 3rd down and 2. Ball at the Hahnville 49. Need to cross the 50, get it to the Mandeville 49. And once again, White, he's running away from the strong side of the formation that time, but he's still going to get the first down. Let's see. Are they going to give him forward progress? It looks like they will from the far side official. They're going to put it at the 47-yard line. That's one of those judgment calls that you've got to make there, Wade, as an official, and they are actually going to mark it at the 49-yard line, and they marked it short of the first down.
Well, they've also got to work together as an officiating crew, and that's the other problem with a 5-man crew. You don't have the extra set of eyes on the boundary. If you had a 6-man crew or 7-man crew, they're going to give you that extra vision on the boundary to get that spot.
And on the carry, I believe Calvin Smith got the first down that time.
Well, Mandeville's getting up and saying no, so it's going to be interesting. They might bring it out for a measurement.
Yeah, they've got him marked short of the 49-yard line. He doesn't have this, Wade.
Well, if that's where it's at, and if the sticks are correct on the 49, he's about a half of a football down, and Daniel Luquette is out there pleading his case like a corporate lawyer. Oh, my goodness. Yes, and I would too. He got one call from one guy, one spot from another guy, and he's out there screaming at the hash mark.
Well, let's go back to the previous play for a second. And what happened, as you get, first take another look at the fourth down, but what happened is you had a play where the runner got to the 47-yard line, was trying to keep his feet moving, kind of gave up his forward progress to try to make a play, and then got brought down at the 49-yard line. The far side official was giving forward progress, and the near side official did not give forward progress. So the end result is Mandeville gets a stop on downs. He gets the ball back with all of a sudden a chance to take the lead. But on first down, they are stuffed for no gain, as that was the running back, Nate Shepard, on the carry.
Again, that's one of the problems when you don't have two officials on the boundary in a 6-man crew, right? The other official will come down and help spot the ball with that line judge that was supposed to be spotting the ball, and he might be able to adjust that line judge spot a little bit. And Hahnville ended up on the bad side of a spot, like you said, on that third down.
Room to run on the perimeter. Shepard gets to the outside, out past the 30-yard line. They will mark him out at the 23. A gain of 28 on the play.
I don't know about you, Lenny, but I'm impressed with Shepard's speed. When he gets out in the open, man, he has another jet he turns on. Watch him break down the boundary right here. He's going to bounce it outside. Nothing inside, right there. Nice blocking by the wide receiver. Here comes a jet right here. See that? Running away from everybody. Just gets a hand on him. He gets shoved out of bounds.
Put it up at the 22-yard line, actually. So mark it as a gain of 29 on the play. Give him an extra yard there. 73 yards rushing. And that was McGowan who carried that time and brought down at the 14-yard line.
Running that inside zone. Again, Mandeville trying to establish a line of scrimmage like Hahnville was trying to do when they came out in their first series here in the third quarter.
Yeah. So 73 on the ground, 85 receiving yards, as DeRoche is going to keep it himself on second and about 2, and I don't think he got much of anything that time, and it's going to be third down here.
That was a planned or a design quarterback pull right there. There was no read on that. Had that been a read, that would have been a give off of an RPO or a zone read type of play, because he runs right smack dab into the big defensive end, number 94 from Hahnville, Cameron Darensburg.
Man in motion towards the top of your screen. Now 2 receivers to either side. Give it away and room to run, or check that. They did hand it off there. I got fooled on the play. Shepard had the football all the way. It looked like the defense reacted to DeRoche more than they did Shepard, and I'm not sure why you wouldn't have your eyes on number 20 with the night he's having. And another touchdown for Shepard.
He breaks through the line of scrimmage right there, runs through an arm tackle, and then he just walks or strides, jogs into the end zone. There was nobody around. Everybody else was run off in a purple jersey, and it was a great run by Shepard for another score.
So it's the first lead of the night for Mandeville, 25-21. It looks like they may line up to go for 2 this time. Into the second half, you're already behind From an extra point perspective, whether you're up 4 or up 5 doesn't make a difference. Go for 2 to try to make it a 6-point game. Given on the jet sweep, and I believe they're going to mark Donovan McGowan short of the goal line, so the 2-point try will fail. And it's 25-21. Mandeville leads this game with 7:23 remaining in the third quarter of what has been a very entertaining game. Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more, all done quickly while Wade enjoys some popcorn. Must be a reason.
Well, it must be a reason, absolutely. And like I said earlier in the show, I think it takes up all of Kenner out there. It is
right.
One beautiful campus right there on Williams there at the interstate. I mean, it's magnificent. I mean, they've got everything out there that you need. And I've been out there and gotten my oil changed before, and I was in and out, and they're fast change oil.
Did you get some popcorn?
I think I turned it down.
Oh, okay.
But I was
sometimes
offered.
the thing is, sometimes I go in there, get it done 8:30 in the morning. I'm just not ready for popcorn at 8:30 in the morning. So there is that.
But I was offered popcorn, and I was also offered something to drink. I think I took a water. Got to remember hydration this time of the year, right?
Exactly. Just like these young men on the field. All right, so Mandeville with the lead, 25-21. Kickoff into the end zone, a touchback.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Hahnville comes out in. They came out in their heavy jumbo set right there for the whole series, moved the ball down the field, and then got a bad spot and kind of came up on the losing end of that spot right there. And earlier in the third quarter, let's see what they come out in again. They come out in their spread offense, or they come out in their jumbo?
That's one thing, obviously, you can question as a coach is – we will see Gregson at quarterback. Yeah, I know. It's never happened before. Gregson, play action, shot down the middle of the field, incomplete. It was intended for Josh Joseph, and you had the outside linebacker, Strauss, in coverage that time, trying to create a mismatch, I believe, and just couldn't get it there, incomplete.
I don't know if they were trying to come back to Dakota Williams, who was running down the boundary, but they had Dakota Williams covered this time. So maybe they go to the secondary receiver, who was also covered. Great defensive play right there, and trickery just didn't work.
So at the 20, second down and 10. Give it away this time. First time we've called Chase Brooks' name in the second half, and he will get to the edge, but only get about 3.5 yards. See where they spot it.
Hey, Straits comes straight up from his linebacker position to force it back inside. That's all good and fine. Nice job. But the problem was there was nothing coming from inside out. You got to have inside out pursuit. It got all cut off right there. He does a great job coming up, shouldering that thing, turning it in. No pursuit. You got to have the pursuit coming inside out.
Hahnville has 4 rushers in this game with at least 35 yards. They have spread the wealth, certainly. And we got whistles before this one can get started, I think.
Can't do that.
Yeah,
obviously.
You had a man coming off the sideline.
There's a 9-yard rule from where the ball is. You've got to come in and break the 9-yard if you're coming off to the boundary and you're coming back on the field. That keeps the old hideout play from happening, where you used to hide out on the boundary, blend in, and then throw the ball over there and nobody defended them. Federation did away with that years ago, right? So now they put a 9-yard boundary. In college, they have little hash marks out there, right? Small blips or hashes out there.
Basically, you got to be inside the numbers. That serves as the marker,
which is a 9-yard boundary from the ball.
You look at it, the numbers, the 10 to 20 to 30. That serves as that boundary. Pass incomplete is a great pass rush. Came in that time on Gregson. And that was Wyatt Hammond from his will linebacker position coming in and applying the pressure for Mandeville. And the Skippers defense made some nice adjustments, clearly, in the second half. Wade, they're off the field once again.
Right. Well, Wyatt Hammond does a nice job right here. It's not blitz. Basically what it is he has contained. So if the quarterback sprints to his side, he's fighting to get out there to contain from his will linebacker position. That's what he's charged with in that 3-4 defense, and he does a very nice job containing, and he ends up with a sack.
So the Hahnville punting unit on Dylan Patterson. Or check that. That's not Patterson. That's Dakota Morales punting. And that is down at the 40-yard line. So great field position coming for Mandeville on offense with 6:08 to play here in the first half, or rather the third quarter. So we'll get probably one play before we hit the hydration break.
They should be moving that ball back to about the 45-yard line. The ball hit a Hahnville player in the helmet.
And they're not doing it. They're putting it down at the 41.
So the ball should have been dead, and it was somewhere around the 45, maybe 44-yard line.
Mandeville, the lead, now the football. Give it away on first down. And, boy, I tell you what, Wade, you said it last series. I like what I see out of Nate Shepard. He gets his shoulders square in a hurry, even running, a lot of the action that they're running out there. He picks up 4 on that play, and we do indeed hit the hydration break.
Well, he's running stretch sweep right there. So they give the ball. Offensive line is running outside zone steps or stretch. They're giving the ball to him from his halfback position. He's reading the last guy at the line of scrimmage in the tight end box area. If he's out, he's under. If he's hooked, he's bouncing it outside, right? What he reads is the guy getting stretched out, so he's going to turn his shoulders north and south as fast as he can and hit it right off tackle. And he's really good at that because if he gets a crease, he's off to the races. He's like I said, he turns another jet on, and he's hard to catch. A lot of ways to run that outside zone stretch. You can hand it to the tailback running a path, or you can hand it to the halfback who's running it like a sweep. You can run it like a jet sweep with motion across. These offensive coordinators today, they do a great job inventing ways to keep the blocking simple up front and to be able to give you different looks with your skill to be able to make your defense have to handle all of the looks that they're getting with the backfields.
On second down, good pressure up the middle, and DeRoche is brought down by Sincere Simmons, his second sack tonight.
Sincere Simmons right there for that tackle. Nobody blocked him. He comes from his position right there and makes a nice play. Here comes our replay. Let's see if we got it right here. And there he is. There he is. Hardly even touched coming off that right side by the left tackle.
So third down, 11. The line to make is the 31-yard line of Hahnville. DeRoche throws long, caught! Touchdown, and guess who? Nate Shepard for the 5th time tonight.
Hey, he is having a career night. He runs wheel route out of the backfield. He's matched up in man with number 24, Jordan Boyle. Runs right past Jordan Boyle by 3 steps. The ball's laid out there perfectly.
And it looked like it was double coverage. I mean, that's the thing. The safety had come up.
Safety came over to help. Boyle was on the tail, doing the best he can to run with the guy like that. He's doing everything he can. There's the mismatch. When you've got a linebacker lined up on a guy like that, there is a mismatch. Safety was there to help, but the ball was placed perfectly. Great throw, great catch.
Point after is good, and your new score with 5:04 remaining in the third quarter is Mandeville 32 and Hahnville 21. Mandeville has scored, the last 19 points in this game? It was 21-13 Hahnville late in the first half. Mandeville scored just before halftime with 13 seconds left. Got to stop, scored, and got to stop and scored here in the third quarter. This drive, 3 plays, 41 yards, a minute 4 off the clock. And, look, this has turned into the Nate Shepard show. Last week he had pedestrian numbers, 16 rushes for 37 yards and a touchdown, 3 receptions for 23 yards. Tonight, unofficially, I've got him 11 carries, 91 yards, 4 catches for 127 yards, and he has accounted for all 5 touchdowns in this game.
Look, credit that offensive staff over there at Mandeville. They're getting all that man, still a lot of man coverage, so they knew they were going to have a linebacker matched on Shepard. Now, look, that's like me playing one-on-one with LeBron James, right? Okay, it's just a mismatch. I'm not going to get the ball off, right? It's going to get batted back in my face. Nate Shepard's pretty darn fast. Jordan Bull is doing everything he can to run with the guy. He needed that safety help across the top, and it just got there a second late. Great pass also by DeRoche.
Into the end zone for a touchback, and Hahnville will take over at the 20.
Look, you see that not only on Friday nights, but you're going to see that tomorrow. You're going to see backs mismatched on linebackers, right? Guys that are 5-star linebackers mismatched on 5-star running backs. And, hey, guys, how many times have we seen it on Sunday, especially with 41 from the New Orleans Saints?
No doubt about it.
That's the reason why those guys are where they are.
So from the 20, and that is Titus White lining up at quarterback. They're going to fake the jet sweep, and White's going to try and get to the edge. Ball's out, and it is recovered by one of the Hahnville offensive linemen. That's the left tackle, Marcus Garcia, who fell on the football at the 26-yard line. And that's a huge break for Hahnville. That was a disaster waiting to happen right there.
Exactly. Number 66, Marcus Garcia, right there, Johnny, on the spot to make sure that the bad things couldn't continue to happen here in the third quarter for Hahnville. Brings up a nice second and
3. It would have been about 7 or 8 if the tackles made where he fumbled the football and went forward about 5 yards. This time they'll give it away on the jet sweep, and it is well defended by Mandeville, and that is Wyatt Hammett. We called his name earlier. Nice pursuit on that play, and it is a loss of about 3 on the run by Joseph.
Again, Wyatt Hammett from his will position keeps contained, comes up and makes a nice tackle. Tackling has gotten cleaner by Mandeville. I'm sure that's something that they talked about at halftime. Got to clean up the tackling. They're going to live and die by the man coverage. Mandeville is doing it also, but when you get the chance to tackle, you have to make the tackle, because if you're in man coverage, it only takes one miss.
So play action on 3rd and 7. Gregson's pass is complete. First down, as that was Josh Smith with his second catch of the night. Gets it out past the 30 to the 31-yard line, a gain of 7.
Gregson makes that happen. He scrambles away to his right, keeps his eyes downfield, sees Smith right there and gets rid of the ball for a nice pickup. They keep the chains moving as we move onto the 3:32 mark of the third quarter.
So put it at the 32 officially. Call it a gain of 8. Trips to the bottom of your screen. He's going to look that way, and it is caught, but not much doing, as Elias Allen, backup cornerback, made a nice tackle and wrapped up quickly on Titus White. It's going to go for no gain.
Titus White trying to run the little jailbreak screen or the wide receiver screen underneath, and sitting right in his hip was Elias Allen, which did exactly what he's taught. If you're in man, which he was, trail that receiver, get on the inside hip, trail that receiver. He trails the receiver and makes a nice play for a loss. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Play action. Good pursuit and dragged down from behind. That is Canales once again. We've called his name a bunch this evening, and he gets the sack back at the 25-yard line.
Skippers have found some defense since the second half. They've turned it up a notch with what they're doing in their scheme. Here's a good look at it. Canales coming off the right edge, right defensive edge, left offensive edge right here. There's the zone read look. Quarterback keeps the ball. Doesn't fool Canales. Canales sitting right there for the play. Should have been a give.
Trips to the top. Down 4 to the top as the motion man goes out there, and a shot down the field is caught for the first down. It's White on the catch from Gregson into Mandeville territory. Wade, remember that play on 3rd and 17. If Hahnville gets something going here, that could be a turning point in this football game.
Well, I'm going to remember that play because White goes up and catches that in between 3 white jerseys. Watch the replay, guys. You count them. 1, 2, 3 white jerseys right there. They don't make a play on the ball. Nobody goes up and high points that except the receiver.
And nothing doing on first down, a loss of 2 on the carry by Calvin Smith.
You know, by all rules of this game, you don't throw to where there's more of the opponent's jerseys, right?
We've seen a couple of instances of that tonight that have gone in another direction, not the least of which was the last touchdown we saw.
Right.
The second defender was coming over, and that needle was just threaded on that pass to Shepard. On 2nd and 12, nice job of getting out of there by Gregson to get positive yardage out of it, out to about the 44-yard line, a gain of 6.
That didn't look very good getting started. He was all banged up in the backfield, and his strength just got him away from everybody off of the read, and he gets positive yardage. So it's going to be 3rd and, about 7 or 8 right here.
They'll put it at the 44. The line to make is the 38. So 3rd and 6. And a huge play once again. They converted 3rd and 17 a moment ago. Now they need another 3rd down conversion right here to keep this drive alive. Though we're getting into 4-down territory, perhaps. Nice looking and nicely executed play. And out past the 30-yard line goes Calvin Smith. First down, Hahnville.
The rules say when you got 5 people left in the box, you run the football. That's exactly what the Skippers gave the Tigers right there. So what do the Tigers do? They run counter. That's why you play with 11 people in this game, right? You count numbers. So you go where the numbers are less. The less numbers were in the box. You run the football. What's the result? First down.
I was told there would be no math this evening. So
well, that's about all the math I can add.
Okay. From the 28. Pass incomplete, as that was intended for the Hahnville wide receiver. That is DeTrey Joseph, the junior. And that ends the 3rd quarter. The final play of the 3rd quarter gets us set up with 12 minutes to go here in Booty. As we get to the 4th, your score is Mandeville 32 and Hahnville 21. Back with the 4th quarter right after this on Crescent City Sports. So here we go to the 4th. Switch ends. Mandeville will play 2nd down and 10. Hahnville will play 2nd down and 10 at the Mandeville 28-yard line. You knew I was going to. 2 teams that end in Ville was going to do that at some point tonight. Gregson will half roll back this way. Joseph has room to run, may go the distance. No, a nice tackle inside the 10-yard line. Hayes Strawitz with the Touchdown saving tackle at the 7-yard line. Well-executed play right there coming out of the break, Wade.
They dial up the screen against the blitz. The blitz runs right past the screen. Let's watch it. Here comes the blitz. There it is. Dial it up the screen. Nobody for the offensive lineman to block. He splits one right there. There we go. They're in business.
From the 7. Give it away. Joseph trying to get through. Falls forward. In for the touchdown.
Tell you what, that play right there for the touchdown was set up by the nice call on the screen. The screen is what obviously puts everything into motion right there, gets them down inside the 5-yard line to set up the run. Great execution, great play calling by the Hahnville offensive staff.
So 32-27, would you think about going for 2 here and trying to make this a 3-point game? You just kick the extra point and don't chase.
Kick the one, don't chase.
A lot of time to go with 11:32 to play, and the kick is good to cap a 12-play, 80-yard drive. Took 5:36 off the clock. Josh Joseph from 7 yards out. They've gotten scores from a lot of different places. Joseph has 2 tonight. Smith has 1. And Gregson has 1. So coming from a lot of different places. On the other side, on the other hand, it has been the Nate Shepard show.
Especially in the second half.
5 touchdowns, and I've got him unofficially with 218 yards from scrimmage, and the Skippers are about to get the football back.
And it's not over for Nate Shepard.
Oh, no. What an entertaining game.
You got to remember, both of these teams have one more week of non-district play, and then they open up in their districts. So all of this also, you know, even though it's wild card ramifications and talking about all that stuff we were talking about with the buys and the brackets, et cetera, this is all getting them ready for their tough district schedule, which is coming down the road in another 2 weeks.
So the kickoff is a line drive to about the 15-yard line. Good chance to do something here. Guess who had the football in his hands? Shepard takes it out to about the 32-yard line, and that is where Mandeville will begin this possession.
Well, here we go. A nice field position just out over the 30-yard line. Let's see how they come out and start attacking this Hahnville defense again, which hasn't really changed much all game. A lot of man coverage, man free, 1 free safety deep, 4-man defensive line, 2 linebackers.
DeRoche has thrown for 311 yards this evening. And on first down, they give it away, and that's something we have not said much of tonight. Nate Shepard is stopped. No gain.
Sincere Simmons has had a nice night from his defensive end position for the Tigers. He's impressive, 6'3", 240 pounds. He can rush the passer. He plays the run well also.
Play action, go the other way, and it is caught by McGowan up the sideline, stepping out of bounds at about the 39-yard line, a gain of 7.
Got the numbers right out there, had him bottled up, but McGowan runs right through the first tackler and scoots down the boundary to set up a manageable third down. You can see here on the little bubble right there. They got him all bottled up, should I say. Nice block right there. He slips out, and it's 3rd and short.
Line to make the 42. Guess who? Ball came out. Let's see who got it. Hahnville saying they had it, as it was Shepard on the carry, but he put it on the ground, and indeed the Tigers have the football, and you talk about a momentum swing right now.
That's the break Hahnville's looking for. Right there, taking the ball over on their side of the field, or should I say Mandeville's side of the field, in perfect field position. Let's see if we can see where the fumble comes from, if it was dropped or if it was stripped. Looks like he was slammed to the ground and he came down on his ball carrying arm, and it looks like, wow, does the ground cause the fumble? Don't know. But the ball's out. Hahnville ball.
From the 42, toss sweep. Still on his feet and going towards the end zone. Touchdown, Hahnville. Josh Joseph, his third score of the night.
Josh Joseph runs through arms right there, downhill on the toss sweep. We've been seeing him run the old toss sweep right there, USC sweep, and right there he runs through a lot of white jersey tackling, and he gets himself into the end zone for the third time tonight. Take a look at it right here. Very well blocked. One block, two block right there. Missed tackle, missed tackle, missed tackle. He's off to the races.
Point after is good, and with 9:58 remaining, your new score is Hahnville 35, Mandeville 32.
Wow.
This was 32-21 at the start of the quarter. Mandeville has scored twice in the first 2 minutes and 2 seconds of this final quarter. And why do I think we're not done?
We are not done. I think, Mr. Shepard's going to have something to say about putting that ball on the ground. He's over there right now saying, hey, you guys need to feed me. Turnovers can come at costly, most unopportune times, and that was an unopportune time, obviously. There's only one way to make it up, and that's get the ball back in your hands, get back there on the field, and make something happen. Oh, sky kick. Nicely caught, nicely received there.
Well handled right there, and that was
Ashton
Dale on the catch. And we've not called Dale's name a lot tonight. Early, yes. Not since.
Early a few catches, and not so far in the second half.
So Hahnville will take over, or Mandeville, I should say, will take over at the 42-yard line as we just go back and forth here in this one. Taking a shot on first down. Got a man, and it is caught. Flag is down. That was Scardino on the catch from DeRoche. And it is defensive pass interference, so the penalty will be declined. The play will stand. It's going to be a gain of 30-plus once again.
A little double move out there on Ryan Simmons, number 15 from Hahnville. He gets beat deep, and he fools with the receiver before the ball gets there. That's where the flag comes from. He puts his hands on him, and
he's got to spot the football here. Yeah.
And then there we go, and just gets the interference call, which, of course, is going to be declined. But that's what happened. When you bite on a double move, you're going to get yourself some separation, and that's exactly what the receiver did there. Got separation from the defender. The ball well delivered.
Give it away on first down. Guess who? The workhorse, Nate Shepard, out to right at the 20-yard line, a gain of 5.
Running that stretch sweep right there again. He's been making a living on that all night long. They hook the end. He bounces it outside.
I've got him with 99 yards rushing on 14 carries. You add in 127 yards receiving. Not even the leading receiver on this team now. Scardino with that last catch is 4 for 150 yards. Still churning, and right at the first down marker is Nate Shepard. Did the ball come out again?
The ball was up in the air, getting batted around. I don't know if it had to be ripped out.
Yeah, the Mandeville offensive lineman right there, that's Reagan Touchstone, the center, is saying the ball is down. You need to call this down.
Well, in the middle of the pile, all of a sudden you see the ball squirt up in the air. Let's see if we can see here on the replay. And watch the ball come out. Right there. See, getting batting around.
So they're going to call it a gain of 2 and 3rd down and 3. They're going to move it back to the 18-yard line.
Not really an explanation on how the ball came out or even if it was down at that particular point. Couldn't really see it.
It looked like a volleyball.
Correct.
To get into play.
Well, any way you look at it, you're looking at 3rd down and a little less than 1.
It was a dig or a kill or a serve receive or what was going on there, but it's now they're going to put it back. Now they moved it back to the 16-yard line. So it's 3rd and 1 now.
3rd and a full 1.
They had it marked at the 18. Now it's at the 16. Any doubt who gets it here? Well, they're going to throw. Shows you what I know. DeRoche staying alive, throwing, and nearly intercepted. It was intended for Shepard, and right there with him was Bo Parker, the junior linebacker, who nearly picked it off.
Bo Parker had his hands on it just for a second. He's going to want tomorrow. He's going to look at that on film. He's going to want that back. He's going to say, "Oh my, I should have picked that ball off." 3rd and 1. I don't know about that call, right?
Here comes the field goal unit. I'm a little surprised at this, Wade. It's 4th and 1 at the 16. It's a 3-point game. If you kick it, it's a 6-point game.
I agree, especially with Shepard, who's been having a career night.
Yeah. Spot down, kick up, on the way. It is good. Shows you what we know. Wilbanks drills it from 33 yards out.
Well, that's why I'm retired, right? Exactly. But look, I will say this. I got to believe my guy Shepard with my offensive line that has done a nice job all night is going to get me that 1 yard I needed right there.
And guess what? The clock, and remember this too, the clock didn't run on the kick. Now, take that back. Of course, I'm looking at the score backwards here. That tied the game. I'm thinking it's a 3-point lead. No, that tied the game. So that may have a lot to do with why you kicked it there. My bad on that one. Drive, 5 plays, 42 yards. Took a minute 41 off the clock, but the clock did not run on a kick. The play started at 8:17. It's still got 8:17. If we're close and late at the end and you're looking for time, remember that.
Yeah, well, they're trying to get everybody their money's worth, right?
Exactly.
But I'm gonna get back to the call. I understand it tied the ball game. I'm a 3rd, maybe a short yard right there. The play action pass. Then 4th down. I got this cat in the backfield that's doing what he's doing all night long. I know I can get a yard. I got to believe I can get a yard right there. It's also the difference in maybe continuing and scoring a touchdown. So.
Kick is back to about the 2-yard line, looking for a block. Up the seam, room to run, out past the 30 to about the 34-yard line. There's a lot of guys who have done a lot of great things tonight, not the least of which is that return man right there, Titus White.
Titus White has had a nice night, and saving that tackle right there was number 12. Or I look like number 12, DeRoche making the tackle out there, running down the field. But unless it's another number 12 that they have on their roster.
I thought might have been 14, Jacob Hofstad.
Could have been 14, and maybe I just couldn't see the number real well. Yep. But it wouldn't surprise me in the least if DeRoche was running down the field making a tackle. He's that type of athlete.
Give it away this side on 1st down, and not much of an opportunity for Calvin Smith to do anything. Maybe got 2 on the play.
On the counter right there, very nicely defended coming up making that play.
And there was a lot going on there, Wade, with
Nick Pedavino. Yeah, a lot going on with the counter. You had the 2 pullers, the back making the counter step, coming around. Number 8, Nick Pedavino, does a nice job at his free safety position, which was walk down, playing man coverage, comes up and makes a nice play after he read run.
Play clock down to 12, so got to hurry this up just a bit. You got both of their regular backs, Joseph and Smith, split in the backfield. Play clock at 3. Get it away. nowhere to go, and Gregson's going to put it down, get to the perimeter, and step out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Give him a gain of 6.
Well, he's looking down the boundary to try to take a shot right there to Titus White, who was tied up with number 4, Elias Allen, running down the boundary. Allen had great coverage on him, nothing there, so Gregson doesn't go anywhere else except ducks the ball and runs out of the pocket down the boundary, and it's going to bring up 3rd and about 3 now, 3rd and 2.
Toss sweep. Left side. Nicely defended. Let's see where the spot is. As it was Joseph on the carry. Are they going to mark this short of the line to gain, or are they going to give him the first down? It is very close, Wade. First down.
Oh, my. Gave him the spot
here's they're looking at it. I just wonder, are the chains there for decoration? If it's that close, why not come out and measure?
Well, I'm laughing because I never forget. I asked for a measurement one night, and the official said, "Why? I spotted it right." I'll never forget.
There you go.
And I honestly, I choked. I didn't have anything left to say. He just laughed as he chuckled, jogging down the sideline.
Oh, what a hit on the first down carry. That was Emil Allen coming up from his linebacker position. I believe that was 5 that delivered the blow there. And
officials, getting back to the chains again, and in all seriousness, officials grant the measurement. They don't have to measurement because you're asking. So, people at home have to remember that. Why aren't they measuring that? That coach is asking for the measurement. You can see it on the boundary all the time. You see it on Friday nights. You see it on Saturdays. You see it on Sundays. And everybody at home says, well, they've got to go measure that. No, they don't. The official is in the charge of the management of the games, which also means they're in charge of the chains. We want them to manage, or we want them to measure, but it doesn't mean that they're going to stop the management of what's going on to be able to run the chains out there and do it. So you're not always going to get your way with that.
We hit the hydration break. It's 6 minutes to play in a tie game. Gives us a chance to tell you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute, treating more than 30,000 athletes a year with innovative treatments for sports injuries. Visit oxnard.org/sportsmed to learn more. So as we get set to resume here, Hahnville playing a 2nd and 6, the ball at the 48-yard line. What an entertaining game this has turned out to be. Back and forth. We have basically gone since about the midway point of the second quarter.
Who has not touched the ball this half, I believe, is number 5, Dakota Williams from Hahnville.
No. Play action. Pass is in and out of the hands of Josh Smith. So it's 3rd and 6.
Well, no better place to hit you. We say that. I know it's kind of cliche, but, where do you want the ball? He kind of slips right out right there. He's matched up on the linebacker perfectly right in his hands. He catches that. He's still running. He's possibly running away from that linebacker with his speed.
Yeah, that was Emil Allen in coverage there. So on 3rd and 6, run that little counter to the opposite side. First down and more. I don't know how Josh Joseph stayed on his feet right there, Wade.
Well, he was hit, kept his balance, bounces one off of one tackler, keeps his feet, and continues to pick up yardage, and they're moving the chains again.
Gain of 14 on the play. And it has been all Joseph here in the fourth quarter. He'll take it on first down. Try to get to the edge, far side. Can't get there. He's stood up at the 35-yard line, a gain of 3.
He stood up by a host of white jerseys over there at the boundary. So as the clock continues to run, right, 5:07, 5:06, 5:05 right now, coming down into Mandeville territory, Hahnville wants to start thinking about how to utilize the clock properly and make sure Mandeville doesn't get the ball back with a lot of time left on the clock should they score. Speaking Hahnville scoring, that is. Clock manipulation.
Gregson is going to be sacked. He just had no one open.
But that's not part of the plan, right?
Yeah.
You can't take the sack and you can't take the negative yardage. It's got to be all positive yardage or to the point where you're going to at least have positive to set up the next play. Meaning that somehow you scramble out there to be able to set up your next play. Can't take that sack right there for negative. Now it sets up third and long. 11 yards.
11 yards. Line to make is the 28. Gregson rolls this way, fires, caught, first down. And Titus White has been the man tonight. 5th catch. Put it inside the 30. We'll wait for the official spot. They'll put it down at the 27-yard line, a gain of 12.
All right, so now they should be back to some sort of 4-minute offensive rule here. Now that they've moved the chains, they've got to start thinking about how they're going to control the clock. And they're doing it by check with me. Very smart by the offensive staff.
Play went out of bounds, so the clock was stopped for that. Give it away on first down, and that is Brooks on the carry out to about the 23-yard line, a gain of 4.
Looked like a ballet dancer there, right there. He stopped in the backfield. He twirls once, gets hit again, twirls twice, and pirouettes, I think is what they call it, and picks up positive yardage.
Just trying to milk this thing. You talk about a 4-minute offense. We're going to get a timeout. Hahnville. They take it with 18 on the play clock there, so obviously a big spot in this one. I guess you don't worry about that. You still obviously got 23 yards away from the goal line. Yeah, in an ideal situation, when you're talking about a 4-minute offense, well, there's two different types. There's the 4-minute offense with the lead where you're trying to run the clock out. This is a situation where you're trying to run as much time off the clock as possible, milk it as far down as you can, and score to ideally win the game and give Mandeville little or no time to do anything with it.
Here's the deal. Use the timeouts as you need them right here because you might not get the ball back. However you want to use your timeouts, you make sure you have the right personnel. They're lined up right. You have the right play call. Whatever the case may be, don't keep them in your pocket. You got to score here. Use them. And you got to score where the guys in white don't have much time left because you know they're electric. They can go 80 yards in a New York second, right? So everything has got to be perfect because this might be your last chance you touch the ball in regulation.
So from the 23, toss sweep, trying to get to the perimeter, but he was turned back in and got about 3 yards on the play is Chase Brooks.
Got a lot of mileage out of that toss sweep tonight. Isn't that fun to look at? You just don't see that much anymore, right? That is fun to watch. Student body right, USC sweep, whatever you want to call it.
So the ball is at the 20. The line to make is the 17. Brooks now has 50 yards rushing. You look at the backs. Joseph has 83. Smith has 79. Brooks has 50. That's 3 running backs all with 50 yards. And oh, by the way, your quarterbacks run for 45. And your wide receiver, Dakota Williams, had an end around for 35.
Right, and he hasn't touched the ball recently. I'm looking for him to come up big here.
He's at the bottom of your screen on 3rd and 3, stuffed in the short of the line to gain is Josh Joseph, and it's going to be 4th down and 2, and it's decision time for Daniel Luquette.
Well, they're going to have to go for this. I don't think they've got the kicker to do it. So this is one of the biggest plays of the night for the Tigers.
2.5 minutes to play. 4th and 2. Play clock at 6. Joseph is bottled up and stopped short. They tried to go to the far side with Josh Joseph, who's been their best back in the fourth quarter, and he gets stuffed for no gain, and taking over on downs will be Mandeville, and momentum has changed here again.
They try to run the stretch sweep to the short side of the field. They say, well, hold on. Why run it to the short side of the field, right? There's not enough room over there. Well, there's less numbers over there, right? So they go to the side where there's the less numbers, but it just doesn't get blocked cleanly. And the result is first down Mandeville in the other direction. But what that did is take a lot of time off the clock, and that now puts pressure on Mandeville.
6-minute drive just now. It started at 8:17. It just ended at 2:17. But what we've seen from Mandeville is the ability to quick strike all night long.
And they have a whole host of their timeouts left, and they don't have the right personnel on the field.
All 3 of their scoring drives here in the second half have been under 2 minutes.
Timeout. They got to take a timeout. They just wasted one with a personnel move. They didn't have all their personnel on the field. They're jumping up and down to get one of their guys on the field, and they have to waste a timeout. That is a critical mistake.
So you check the timeouts. Each team with 2 remaining. 2:17 to play. And 2:17 is a long time, but we bring it up. We saw it 8 days ago at Tad Gormley. If you're not familiar with high school football, watch it much or whatever. Overtime is a lot like the college rules, except instead of playing from the 25-yard line and each team gets a possession, you play from the 10-yard line.
And you don't have to go for 2 on the second possession.
No, there's no going for 2 or.
Which I was watching the other night. That was strange. I don't know, in the overtime game the other night, I think that was maybe was that Florida, maybe in Utah.
On first down, pass is caught and
gets out of bounds. He stopped the clock.
Yeah, making the catch over there. Let's see. That was, I believe that might have been Michael White on the catch, number 6.
Michael White, number 6, on the catch. He gets out of bounds, stopped the clock, and brings up a nice down and distance for the Skippers.
2nd and 2, they'll give it away. First down to the 34-yard line goes Nate Shepard.
Clock stops. Move the chains, reset the ball, then wind it. Have you play in, get it in from the boundary quickly, and be ready to roll the minute they wind that clock.
At the 34, coming up to the 100-second mark of this one. Pass caught. Not much doing, though, as McGowan made the catch, maybe got a yard out of that.
Gets a yard out of that on a little choice route right there, and great tackle coming up from the secondary position. If I'm not mistaken, that was the defensive back. I believe it was number 20, if I'm not mistaken, Sam Semino.
DeRoche handles the low snap. Pass caught. Nice little run that time by McGowan. Turned it up. Got it out past the 40 to the 41-yard line. A gain of 6, and it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
He needed to think boundary right there. Clock's running. They got to get it in.
Under a minute.
They have 2 timeouts left. They're not even thinking timeouts either.
Give it away, first down. Shepard needed 3. He got 6.
Move the chain, stop the clock. They're going to wind it unless they call the timeout, which they did.
So 33 seconds to play.
They're trying to get themselves into a position where they can hopefully take that one deep shot.
Yeah, you want to be able to reach the end zone. And look, if we've seen nothing else from Cooper DeRoche this evening. He's got a pretty good arm out there. He's thrown for 366 yards this evening.
Well, everybody's got the Hail Mary, but also everybody has that one play that they have written down there, and they've got it in a color. I don't know, whatever color you put it in. You put it in red, you put it in green, you put it in orange or whatever. But it's that one play for a situation where you're trying to throw it for that huge, I guess you would say, Hail Mary score, not using a Hail Mary play. You know, whether it's a Catholic High used to love to play the curl and ladder, hook and ladder play.
To the sideline, caught and out of bounds.
That's what they're setting up. There was the hook right there with the back out of the backfield. If you look at that, that kind of looks like they're trying to set up a hook and lateral.
Mm-hmm. And I tell you, I called that earlier as 6. No, that's Petavino in on offense right now, number 8.
Number 8. Petavino has had a nice night. Defensively also.
Yep. Run it to Shepard. Got about 3. And that looks like they want to use the last timeout. Yep.
All right, so now they're going to set up
possibly 2 plays.
Possibly 2 plays, or they're one play and then they're one shot. I'm telling you, watch for the hook and lateral. I think they set it up on the play before. If they do run the hook and lateral, they're going to have to be able to get the separation. It was set up on the play before.
So 2nd and 7 when we return here at the 37-yard line.
Here we go. 2 plays called in the huddle. You should have 2 plays called. Got to be ready right when the ball's set. They're going to wind it. Here we go.
They'll still check the sideline. DeRoche tried to set up a screen pass, it looked like that time, and it was in the direction of Shepard, incomplete.
Very well defended by the Hahnville defense. Over there making that play was Chase Morales, who's also had a nice night for the Tigers from his linebacking position. He read that all the way, was over there to disrupt that. So here we go, 16 seconds left. Still possibly 2 plays, depending on where you throw them and if you get out of bounds. If that ball's caught in the middle of the field, you're going to have to run up there and spike it if it's a first down.
You got to throw it. At this point, you got to throw everything past the sticks because with no timeouts, the clock's going to run out.
Correct.
Not to mention it's 3rd down. If you're trying to kill it, then it's 4th down.
Almost.
DeRoche throws, caught. Runner's got to stay on his feet. He does. Down at the 23-yard line with 6 seconds left. You got to line up and try to. Then they're going to run the field goal unit on the field. This is an interesting call. It'll be. Do they have time to set it up with 5 seconds left? Let's see.
They better count.
It's going to be 40 yards.
They better count their numbers. They better count their numbers.
Trying to catch him with a man off. 2, 1. Can they get it away? No. Clock is out. The kick was short anyway, but.
Well,
you
can't do it with 12 people on the field.
Right.
Because their numbers are all wrong. Why didn't they spike the football? That's my question.
You could have lined up, spiked the ball, and then run the field goal unit on the field. But again, if that's what you practice, then that is what you practice, trying to run that unit on.
Got to spike the football right there. You got to get down. Number one, the receiver turns into the middle of the field after catching the football. Great throw and catch right there. Receiver needs to sprint to the boundary. Get out of bounds. Stop the clock. He doesn't do that. Run up there, spike the football. Quarterback has to take hold of what's got to go on, and he's got to be calling red ball, red ball, red ball, get everybody to the line of scrimmage, spike the football, give your field goal team a chance to be able to get out there with breath, have 11 people on the field, not 12, and hopefully kick the winning field goal. But here we go. Lanyap, second week in a row.
There we go. How about this?
Tell you what.
How about this? I'm trying to remember how many overtime games we've had in 10 years. Not a lot. And now we've got 2 in 2 weeks.
2 in 2 weeks. Playing Lanyap.
Some are blaming me for this one. So it's so again, much like college, the difference is you're going to play from the 10-yard line. We'll send the captains to the middle of the field for a coin toss. Explain the options, Wade, and what they'll do.
Well, the first thing you want to do is you're going to school your captains as they go out there. If you win the toss, you want to choose defense. Why do you want to choose defense? Because you want the ball second in the exchange. So let's say the offense gets the ball, your opponent, they kick a field goal. Now, you are on defense, you get the ball, you score a touchdown, you go home and you do the celebration dance. That's the reason why you want to be on defense. Your choice, if you win the toss, is defense. So you need to make sure that you explain that to your captains as they walk out there.
No.
Do not have them make a mistake. You got to remember you're dealing with 16, 17, 18-year-old young men here who have just played a whole football game and are fixing to go into overtime. You got to make sure that they're dialed in and focused in to be able to repeat what you want if you win the toss. This is fun. Everybody's
Mandeville, the visiting team, will get the chance to call it. And like you said, if the option is yours, in reality, you want to play defense. End of the field really doesn't matter at this point. It's not a horseshoe. It's not, there's play clocks on either side, so the game clock is a non-factor in all of this.
Beautiful weather, not a lot of wind, no rain. It's beautiful.
All right. I believe Mandeville has won the toss, and so they're going to go on defense first, and we're going to play to our left here in overtime.
Well, there you go.
Make sure that's the case.
I didn't see an indication.
Yeah, there was really no indicator there.
Normally, from the white hat, right?
Right.
Normally, you get a pat on the shoulder. Who won? What happened?
Yeah, I think the teams just immediately sprinted to their sideline after the toss was over.
Right.
Looking at the personnel that's huddling up right now, Hahnville is going on the field first on offense.
Find it real interesting.
And what's interesting to me is Hahnville is getting ready to take the field on offense as Ryan Gregson isn't out there. They're going to run this much like they've done at other times with perhaps some of this jumbo look here.
Well, they're going to bring the jumbo package on.
Yeah, there's 6 offensive linemen in. It's a little bit different look, but it's still, yeah.
You know, what's interesting, and Dakota Williams has not touched the ball that I can remember in the second half. Now, I know they've been spreading the ball around in the backfield, but somehow they needed to get the ball into that guy's hands somehow.
Yeah. And it will be Calvin Smith lining up in the Wildcat with that bunch look to his right. And they'll come in motion, and Smith coming this way as well is in for the score on first down.
They run the counter sweep right there, and Smith follows his blockers all the way around the left edge and will not be denied, keeps his legs moving and knees pumping, and gets to the end zone for the Hahnville Tigers to bring it to 41-35 with the PAT pending. Nice run, very well blocked by the Tiger offensive line.
point after is good, and it is Hahnville 42 and Mandeville 35, and now the Skippers will get the football with 4 downs from the 10.
There you go.
Any doubt whose hands this ball was going to end up in?
Well, I mean,
is it
should
Nate
be.
Shepard? Yeah.
Should
Nate
be
Shepard
any
tonight
doubt.
unofficially. I've got him with 118 yards rushing and 127 yards receiving. That doesn't count anything on special teams either, because I know he had a kick return in there as well.
Correct, and he's had a career
And
night.
5 touchdowns.
So,
all 5 Mandeville touchdowns.
There'll be no doubt, I think, who's going to be touching the ball here.
But look, nothing against Cooper DeRoche here, who has been outstanding as well, because he can get it done with his arm as well. He has thrown for 393 yards.
And here we go.
They're going to try and run the sweep to the near side with Shepard on first down, and he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he gets bumped out of bounds right there. It's strung out very well by the Hahnville defense. They're still running to the short side of the field where the numbers are less. But the pursuit was great by the Tigers, knocking them out of bounds.
So 2nd and goal, still at the 10-yard line.
Look at the pursuit right there. Purple. Knight right there coming up from their secondary.
And that's one of those things, too. He's getting the football. So
Exactly.
that just means he's awfully good, but you've got to be that much better as a scheme. They'll give it away on, nope, they'll keep it to the quarterback this time, and he is bottled up, well defended that time as Mandeville stayed at home. And that was that Titus White on defense just now? I believe it is.
Well, it also might be Knox Colora, who also wears number 10. I'm sorry, my fault.
No, I think they've got White in on defense.
Right. They got White in on defense. Yes, they do. There you go.
And that's what you do no matter what your numbers are at this point in the game. You put your best athletes out there to make a play.
And a play was made. Very nice tackle. Better get somebody out there on the second receiver at the top of the screen.
3rd down at the 11. Got to have a touchdown here. Timeout. Mandeville, I believe.
Nope, I believe that was
Hahnville.
Hahnville
Hahnville called the timeout on defense. And
wanted to make sure that they have their defense called correctly to the formation that Mandeville was coming out in. I saw, and you heard me say it, that there was the number 2 receiver at the top of the screen that time was left uncovered. He motioned and shifted in, but I think the defensive staff from Hahnville saw it and something was wrong. They were misaligned, so they immediately called the timeout. You can't leave a wide receiver undone there.
And the little things sometimes you don't see. A member of the Hahnville training staff grabbed a piece of equipment. I don't know if Sam Semino is cramping or was having a back issue of some kind, but they're immediately out there during the timeout trying to work on Semino to get him ready for this next play. And he's back out there with his Tiger teammates on 3rd down from the 11. Again, Mandeville needs a touchdown and an extra point to keep this game going. Of course, if they score the touchdown, think about going for 2. DeRoche. Back this way, wide open touchdown. Nate Shepard, his 6th of the night.
I've said it over and over and over again tonight. If you're going to play man coverage, you've got to account for the back out of the backfield as well as the quarterback. Nobody accounted for Shepard.
All right, and here we go, Wade. I believe Mandeville, they're going to call timeout and talk about it, but it looked like they weren't even thinking about sending the kicker on the field, and they were going to go for 2.
Well, they dialed up the perfect play there for the touchdown, right? Shepard out of the backfield, man coverage, watch. Nobody in purple's running with him. Nobody accounts for him. Should be one of those linebackers, which is a mismatch. Throwback, very nice play, dial up by the Skipper offensive staff right there. Going for 2 right here. It's all down to 1 play. You know what?
What a way to end it right here.
What a way to end it. And look,
something's got to give right here.
I get it. It's you've got the momentum. You've just made one of the biggest plays of the night. You've got that play on your call sheet for this particular situation. You're going to practice it all week. You might as well run it. Here we go. My, oh, my.
Any doubt what you got here? Chances, and look at this, not in the backfield either. Shepard is lining up wide, bottom of your screen, 20 in white.
They've got him spread out
empty
all over the
backfield.
field.
Yeah, they've really got him spread out here. Watch quarterback draw.
Exactly.
Jet sweep. Fake the jet sweep. Tried to throw the jump pass. Incomplete. And Mandeville can't convert. Hahnville wins this one in overtime. Wait, we got a late flag. I'm assuming this is excessive celebration. Let's make sure, though, because that came in awfully late.
On the jump pass right there, he was looking for number 8. That was Pedavino again trying to make that play. It was just off his fingers. They had him open for a second, and the ball just bounced right off the tip of his fingers. It was a great call. Just by inches, it missed.
What a football game. What a game. What an ending.
Look, it was a great call. Great call just by inches off his fingertips. Pedafino just couldn't get the ball right there. And I tell you what, two good football teams that made huge strides tonight towards getting better as they move forward in their non-district schedule, getting ready for district in 2 weeks. Those teams have nothing to be sad about. They both played their hearts out. We had some great numbers put up by some athletes tonight that, you know, they'll remember forever. It was definitely everybody got their money's worth, and that's what high school football is all about.
Doesn't get much better than this, does it?
No, it does not.
All right, our plans for next Friday, we'll confirm it for you, but our plans as of now, St. Paul's De La Salle at Yeoman Stadium next Friday night, which should be another terrific game, but it's be hard to top this one right here.
I tell you what, we've had 2 great football games in 2 weeks. Everybody out there listening to these broadcasts, you need to make sure you tune in next week, because if I'm a betting man, it might go in overtime.
Hey, we've had 3 games thus far. We've had a 37-0 game and 2 overtime games. So
there you go.
There you go. Our thanks to our entire crew this evening. We've had a dandy. Zach Fisher, our producer, Matthew Beal on camera. For Wade Kaiser and for our entire Crescent City sports team, I'm Lenny Van Gilder. Once again, your final score tonight, Hahnville 42, Mandeville 41 in overtime. Until next week, so long, everybody.